everyone, and thank you for joining us. We are the Martial Artists. We're continuing our stream of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, and just gonna keep going on with that.
You were doing so good with the intro, I figured I'd let you take the helm on that.
Oh,
welcome to chat, Elijah, Cat, and Farm Curry. Starting to become our perfect attendance clan.
Perfect attendance.
We appreciate
There's
you
a
being
special
early
prize
risers.
for
Early-
100% audience.
Don't say that. That's gonna go on records, and we don't have anything for that
They
yet.
disguise themselves as all manner of things, then strike.
Bring
when
us
the least
donations, we
wary.
might. But
Don't say that either.
I'm told they gorge themselves
Hello,
on the
Cameron
stuff
and
till
not
there's
Cameron.
naught left.
Hello,
So,
not Cameron.
what happens then?
yeah, that's you, I think.
It's them. That's them.
That's
Lights
them.
out, and it's worse in the dark. Much
Me and my
worse.
screen.
So let them get too
Yeah.
close.
So we're just continuing. If you want to do a mic check for us guys,
Yes.
let us know how we sound.
Sticking it with a sword helps too. Clock's ticking.
Clock's ticking. I'm just gonna let the clock tick because
You want zombies?
I want zombies.
Magic Jesus over on YouTube says, "Don't really have convention stories." That's okay, Magic Jesus. You have. If you don't have any of your own, you can absolutely chip in on the stories that we will provide.
Mm-hmm.
As per last stream, we were talking about some of our favorite convention stories that we've had in the past to warm ourselves up for the convention that we had last weekend. So we've got more convention stories to tell about last weekend for this stream.
Yep.
So a lot happened, and it was overall a very, very, very good experience. How was the con? By the way, it was good. It was very good.
very good.
It was a very positive convention this year. Probably, I would say, I probably rated up there with one of our best. I think.
Yeah. It came to be where we set ourselves a goal for this convention, and that was to be more interactive with people and try and make more friends, and we definitely set out on that goal. Apparently, we've become somewhat famous at this convention of ours.
There were several people at this convention that remembered us specifically from previous conventions, and they recognized us. We were in different costumes this year, and they recognized our faces, and I guess the way that we acted enough that they
this is a one time a year.
From a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, this is a once a year.
We were so
event.
memorable that they recognized us from a year ago, and they came up to say hi.
And this wasn't just a one time thing. This happened with several people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shocked at that it happened that way. And then when we actually went, we went as Zidane and Titus our first day and Saturday. And that's people were recognizing us, and we were just like, that's a little odd that people are remembering us. But
they last year we cosplayed as Ignis and Prompto, and they, even though we were out of costume, they still remembered us, which was new for us, and we thought it was really, really awesome. It was very, very wholesome, very heartwarming for us. So that was definitely a new experience for us. It's basically how I don't know if we mentioned it last stream or any other stream before, but there was a person, a cosplayer that went there every year as long as I can remember. He would go there as Joker.
Yep.
And
Mark Hamill Joker.
That's how we recognized him. We were like, oh, that's the Joker guy. He always goes as Joker. He's so memorable as Joker, and we would always remember him. And now we were that person to other people, and it was really, really nice.
It was very quite flattering.
It was nice to know how that felt. And speaking of which, the guy that cosplayed as Joker, we always looked up to him as
kind of like celebrity status,
as kind of like an idol, and we actually got to talk with him on a much more personal
to the
level.
point where he came to us.
Yeah. We
and started chatting with us.
All of us had time we were trying to kill time, and he came up to us to just start up a conversation, and we started really talking with him, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry for dying in the middle of last stream. Apparently the entire apartment complex lost power.
Oh, so that's why it happened.
That's not good. Hopefully everything's all good in the neighborhood over there.
Good.
Was it just a power? Did you find out if it was a power grid fail or a generator blew or something like that? I mean, it was something that was able to be repaired again. Who's your favorite comedian? Says Elijah Peter. Do I have a favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian?
You?
Mine's probably Sinbad. If I had to say, it's probably Sinbad. But other than that, I don't really watch a lot of comedy shows.
No, it's. I think the last comedy, like strict stand-up comedy show that I watched was like years ago with Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham, or we watched Bo Burnham from
Elijah
Netflix.
says Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. I mean, he's more an actor than a comedian, but it kind of goes hand in hand.
Miranda Vega on YouTube says, "Hi peeps." Hello,
Howdy,
Miranda.
Miranda.
I don't think I've seen you on our channel before, so welcome.
For those of you who are just now joining us, we are just about to stream. We're literally just talking about the convention that just happened, streaming the game that we've been playing, or we started last Wednesday.
This is in terms of gameplay. This is our full play of Final Fantasy XII, one of our more favorable games in the Final Fantasy series. Elijah says peeps taste good. I'm not one for peeps. I'm not a big marshmallow fan.
Dunkin' Donuts is coming out with Peep Donuts.
I heard about that. I think it sounds like a cool concept.
Like,
I
I don't
feel
know
like
about
people
it, like-
overtake the donut.
Like,
Peeps are relatively
first of all,
big.
the donuts are already super expensive. Second of all, adding Peeps onto it, that just adds to its sweetness. Like,
Well, they gotta get rid of. They gotta squeeze out as much as they can from
look
the
at
donuts
Balthier.
before they get rid of
We
them.
chose Balthier as an archer.
Yes, we did.
it's so odd seeing him like that.
Elijah on YouTube says not Final Fantasy X. We'll stream that one.
We
soon.
will stream that one soon
We'll do a
enough,
full
but
play of that one.
that'll probably be in the next few months, or in a few months, I should say.
Victor over on Twitch asks, "Have you played Prince of Persia?"
I have.
That's a you.
Yes,
question.
I have. I have played the first trilogy, the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I've played Warrior Within, and I've played
Peeps are
the Two
gross,
Thrones.
says Miranda on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not a marshmallow.
Yeah,
fan.
I'm not big on marshmallows.
Sister loves them. Okay, Prince of
But
Persia.
yes, I have played myself. In fact, I actually want Marshall to play because the Prince of Persia, the first trilogy, the Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and Two Thrones, are among one of my favorite games of all time. They just flow really well into each other. They have good story. They have great gameplay.
On YouTube says the frozen hot chocolate is the best.
It's too grainy for me. It's
I thought you liked marshmallow. The DJ marshmallow, I like, if that's what you're going for, Elijah. The food marshmallow, no. The only time I like marshmallow is when it's either fluff for like the sandwich, or if it's melted and put between two crackers and a piece of chocolate.
s'mores.
Yes.
S'mores. But yes, I have played the Prince of Persia series. I have not played the newest one, which was the reboot. Prince of Persia. It had an interesting art style, but I heard the game kind of caved, which kind of disappoints me.
Forgetting your donuts are different than mine, says Cat.
Yeah, our donuts are quite
We
different.
treat our donuts like some form of modern art piece.
I keep using my hand potions. I don't want to do that.
Well, speaking of Prince of Persia and me playing it, eventually we are starting to get more of a loyal
Loyal fan base, loyal following.
a loyal following to our streams, and I can't be more happy about that because it means that we can start moving on to playing more nostalgic games. So that's when we start doing that and we start playing more nostalgic games or games that we played when we were younger, games that we didn't get to play when we were younger. That Prince of Persia is one of the games on the list where I play it and Cameron watches, and that's on our nostalgia. That's our nostalgia game list.
Right. Which I'm kind of looking forward to because you've played the Uncharted series.
Yes.
And I've watched the Uncharted series. But at the same time, the Prince of Persia games came out first, and that's like the same concept. It's the same style of gameplay as the Uncharted series. It's all about, you know, acrobatics, wall running, all that kind of stuff, parkour, and basically going places where you're generally not supposed to go. And that's the Prince of Persia series for you.
Stream CTR, probably. If it doesn't come out, like if it comes out at a time that conflicts with a stream schedule that we might have at the time, I might do a solo stream of CTR just because of how much I love it.
Feed on it.
Well, it sounds like Prince of Persia is more akin to
But it's got
Assassin's Creed.
It is. It's akin to Assassin's Creed and Uncharted. But when it comes to story, it's still a really good story. Like, it's something you would really enjoy playing. It's also got hidden content. It's got things inside of it for a game that came out on the Xbox and PlayStation 2. So it kind of makes good for good nostalgia.
Gotcha. Elijah says, "Do you know what you should do for a solo stream?" What? I'll take 3 guesses. Fortnite, Ethan Must Die, or Fortnite.
Yeah.
Were any of those correct, Elijah? I'm oozing with anticipation. Yep. Ethan Must Die.
Yep.
I'll come back to that eventually. I'm starting to build up the momentum again. That maybe I should tackle it sometime soon. Maybe I'll do it as a solo stream during Zombie Month, which is next month.
Wait, yeah, next month we are doing our skeletons. Hi. By the way, I am very high leveled for this area. I am about 5 or 6 levels above where I'm supposed to be right now.
Tell me when. I'll let you know when I plan on doing it. It'll probably be a spur of the moment thing, and then I'm not watching. No, forget it. It's dead.
Hey, battle harness.
What is that kitchen knife you're holding?
It's the Mage Masher dagger. Kitchen knife.
It's a very fat dagger.
Yeah. Hey, I got an oaken
Oaken
pole.
pole.
Too bad we don't have any,
Not yet.
not monks.
Not yet.
I should probably get some gambits. I can't do them this one, I don't think. But as for this section in the game, I'm kind of just going through it sort of slow because I'm just kind of going through, and right now charge is too high right now, so now I gotta go back.
Next month is finals month. I don't know if I'll keep my perfect attendance.
Oh no, that's when we have our first themed month coming too. But I guess that's okay because there's a lot of things we have to get done too for the next month.
Did you see the story about a 5th grader dying 2 days after a school fight? No, I didn't. Sounds like a very tragic story.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, there was just like this couple of weeks where kids were just fighting. Like every kid was just fighting.
In high school?
Yeah. There was just this 2 weeks where it was just nothing but fights every day. It was ridiculous.
Fun. Yes. One of our favorite
Yeah,
fanfares.
final month in May though. May
Guard.
through June. Well, that's like, what do you have? Like state tests in 8th grade, middle school. That's still state tests. I don't think you have regions yet. You don't want to see a school fight, Elijah. Trust me. It's not. It's nothing. It lasts for about 5 seconds, and then a teacher runs in to break it up. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
and
nothing.
then someone gets suspended.
It's absolutely nothing. You'll keep brain cells if you don't watch it. Miranda Vega agrees that school fights aren't cool.
They don't know. I saw a school fight, and it was some guy that was just being a total.
I'm in 7th grade. Yeah, I don't think you have regions yet in 7th grade. Maybe like language regions. Like I know in Spanish and French class, you had your regions fairly early. Cat said Americans are violent.
Yeah, we are. Not gonna lie.
Only some of us. Miranda says, I was in a school fight once. Hopefully you didn't start it. And if you did, hopefully they deserved it. Well, then again, no, I take that back. You shouldn't ever start a fight.
Yeah, you should.
No, you shouldn't.
What if you go up to someone? Hey, let's start a fight.
No, you don't go up and start a fight.
What if you just want to entertain someone?
You don't. You don't entertain people by fighting.
How do you know?
Because
You don't.
I know. I do know that. That's why I don't like WWE. I don't like fighting for entertainment. It's ridiculous.
That's more comedy than
But this is me. This is me getting like very, very topical about something. I'm sorry, I fell behind on chat. Victor over on Twitch says, in Russia, most school fights are racist.
I mean, that's generally about 50% of the fights that start here too, especially nowadays.
Miranda on YouTube says, don't try to take our guns, Cat. Elijah says, hey, watch it, Cat. People are jumping on Cat, I guess. Oh, because the Americans are violent. I mean, not wrong. Miranda says, I didn't throw the first punch. Okay, so it was more of a defense, I hope.
What?
That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't start a fight, but if someone starts a fight on you, then absolutely.
What about that?
Try and stand your
Did
ground.
you ever? Did you?
That's what my dad always taught me.
I know for a fact you must have watched Whose Line Is It Anime.
Yes.
Or Whose Line Is It Anyway.
Elijah's
So used to
going
it.
like, Marshall, what? I didn't say anything.
But one of the
Elijah's
funniest
policing me
skits was scenes from a hat, and one of the scenes from a hat that was drawn was easy ways to start a fight. And then Ryan Stiles comes out and says, "Hey, you guys want to start a fight?" Like that. I'd be like, okay, if somebody came up to me, "Hey, you want to start a fight?" I'd be like, "Are we gonna die? Are we going to die?"
I'd say no, I'm good. I gotta get to class.
I've got to get to class.
That's what I would say.
A gate has opened. There's a lot of activity going on my phone right now. Look at these flans. Oh, one thing that
Elijah says, my dad says.
Your dad says. He says what? Suspense is killing me. Look at me running speed wagon
You
over here.
pitter-pattering. Speed. You are speed.
The drug?
Yeah. No.
No. Don't do drugs, kids. I really don't. Hey. Another antidote. What's that face? What's that face, Miranda? What does that mean?
Are you attacking?
What? No, I'm asking what that face is supposed to mean.
It sounded like a very forceful accusation.
Like, I'll just see that after we talk about.
Oh. Miranda was in Justice Spence.
I'm a pirate and steal booty. Interesting.
My dad says that if someone throws a punch at you, kick their booty. So that's what my dad taught me. He told you that if someone is messing with you, then absolutely stand your ground, because
Right.
it might just be the best way to tell them, you know, don't mess with you, back off.
Right.
But I remember when I was a kid, and he would like teach me that lesson. He said, if you go to the principal's office for defending yourself, I will walk in there and pull you out of there without saying a word.
Good.
It's just like I am not going to have an argument with the principal. I am going to pull you out of there because I know that you would be right.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with that. Nowadays,
it was kind of heartwarming knowing that my dad like had my back from the beginning.
yeah. But what's so stupid is nowadays it's literally the complete opposite. If a bully starts a fight and you defend yourself, you will be the one suspended.
You're. I mean, it's their way of like not playing favorites, because like it can look just as bad if you keep one kid out, because you know like they're like say a bully was to come up to me and fight me. I'm a good kid.
Wasn't I already over there? No.
I'm good with this. I'm good with the teachers, and you know I have a good record amongst the school. Say a bully comes up and fights me, and we both get in a fight. The bully gets suspended, and I don't, even though I was also in the fight and I was fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit of favoritism there.
Right.
So sending both kids to suspension it gets rid of that.
Yes,
that
but that's the thing.
controversy.
No one should be suspended. There should just be discipline. There should be like classes or management classes.
Ooh. Elijah failed a test.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you better be joking. Mother sees you talking like that, she is going to whoop you. I think I aced it. You think? Mother didn't teach you to think. Sorry.
Mother didn't teach you to think.
No, if you said to our mom, or Elijah's my brother, and we both should know that if we were to say to our mom that we think we passed, she would be very skeptical about it. She'd be like, no, you should know that you passed it because you studied.
I did go this way.
It's like if you think you passed it, then that means that you didn't study hard enough. Like, that's our mother.
All right, let's move on this way. Look at these neutral bombs. About
It's
to
not
die.
Elias is like your Amish name, Elijah.
Elias the Amish. The one Amish who got away. Hey.
Miranda says, I'm a great test taker. Elijah says, sorry, I know. Cat says, in France, school fights are mostly disagreements over where you get to sit at lunch.
Yeah, I just
Miranda says if it is multiple choice. I learned so many, like when I was in college, I learned a bunch of techniques to like be more confident on multiple choice.
The biggest
Which I was like, why did they save all the secrets for college? I would have loved to know
no,
these in high school.
the best
Ezekiel is the best Amish name.
the absolute best advice that I have ever received on taking tests is do not second guess yourself. Do not do it. Cuz if you are torn between choosing something that you just thought that you know, especially if it's multiple choice and you're like it's got to be this one, but then you look down again and you're like it could be that one. Don't second guess yourself. It's more than likely the one you think it is.
My brother did.
Rex.
It's taken over.
said he
I've
had
taken
a
over
brother
50
2 years
tests
younger.
this year. There's no real fighting, says
I
Cat
see.
Cat.
He
It's
meant
just
you.
arguments. Elijah also says I got an
brother.
88.
What
Mom will be
became
happy
of
about
his
that. The bests have
I'm sorry.
been the name
was you who
Ben,
killed him.
90 or above. See, that's good.
I give you my word.
Miranda says always got to
That was
trust
not
your
the way of
initial
it.
gut feelings. That was in regards to what you said. Running a 90 and above in all 9 of my classes. Elijah's a good school kid.
Yeah,
I will
definitely trust your gut feelings because your gut it all goes back to instinct. So
By the way, I missed the comment about
arrive after he signed the treaty.
about
Sir,
Balthier saying nice moves, Captain.
Oh, nice
When all
moves there,
When
Captain.
all Bosch did was just swing his sword
just-
a couple times. I could have nice moves if that's what it takes.
I think pretty sure he was just being
Like,
sarcastic.
look at my moves. He didn't stab. I can stab. That's great moves.
Nice moves there, Captain.
was a traitor.
Captain?
Yank.
Is he Captain? Who's Captain?
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
Anybody that gets you in the back is Captain.
Fancy that.
Doesn't make sense to
Still,
anybody.
And he did look like you.
All right. Taken out of context, that's an entirely different statement.
Of course
But, sure.
It was my fault that Rex
Miranda
was there.
says you guys should do videos where you read wrong spellings from dummies on the internet.
My brother.
Oh, that would be
He
amazing.
trusted you.
I would
He trusted
probably
you.
hurt my brain in the process of doing that because I've said this, we've talked about this in other streams, but when it comes to like texting
Yeah.
or writing people, I normally will write in proper
His
grammar.
homeland.
No.
And when people write me back, like,
Surely
in
he thought to protect his brother.
They made the infantry rifle.
You don't
in
know
Fortnite
anything.
better.
what is it?
Believe what you want
like,
to. Whatever it takes.
Summarized. What are they called? They're like,
What's done is done.
they make them smaller, or they change the words, and
Like you being spelled with just the letter
yeah,
U.
with the letter U. I'm just like, stop. Like I can't take you seriously anymore.
I very much value language and grammar.
Mhm.
Like when I started texting, I of course started out with like the shortened stuff because back then I had a phone where you had to like press the key.
Yeah, I did the
several
same
times
thing.
in order to get the letter. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, it is much simpler to just do the simple stuff. But then when they came out with the phones with like the full keyboards on them, I was like, well, why shouldn't I do proper texting? I was like, in fact, I think at the time I told myself that'll set me out from the crowd if I'm the guy that uses proper spelling.
Right.
And it kind of just stuck because I kind of value it. Plus, I like writing. I very much enjoy writing.
Abbreviation, yes. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah. Cat over in France is tutoring me, an English speaker, on what the heck I was talking about. So that's good. Good on you,
Have
Cat.
you
I don't know what
ever
I'm talking
seen
about.
Flowers for Algernon. No, I haven't. The movie is sad.
For Flowers for Algernon?
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either.
actually. If it's a sad movie, I usually stay away from those because they make me sad.
They make me sad.
I don't like crying. I find it easier to write than to speak personally, says Miranda. Drinking a Baja Blast, says Elijah. Yes, I am. Could be the last case. for all we know.
Because when I went to Walmart earlier, they were out of them. So I'm hoping they're
could be
not.
gone.
I'm hoping they're just out of stock for the week.
I am going to treat every Baja Blast like it's the last. Alright.
I'm just doing my licenses right now because I got a bunch of licenses.
This is SpongeBob's dream right here.
Yeah, I get it.
Thanks.
Can't get that, so you're good.
So, Miranda says, I'm glad they brought Baja Blast back to stores. It was only at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every so often, they'll bring it back into stores, and then it'll disappear without warning, and then we have to stick to Taco Bell. And this year, it came to stores without warning.
Yeah, it came,
was-
but it came early, and that's
which
good.
was kind of it's usually a summer drink. Cat on YouTube says, my English course is giving out semester test exemptions. Got to brush up on the English dictionary every now and
Well,
then.
you're definitely smarter than me.
I will say that from when you first joined the stream and you were talking fluent French, like you've definitely changed like our expectations, because now
Yeah.
you're just speaking fluent English,
Yeah,
which is
It's
really
like-
awesome. Like I didn't expect that.
and you also told us you're about to learn Korean, or what was it Korean? I think it was
I
Korean.
think it was Korean.
And I'm just like, and you already speak French, Spanish, and English. Like,
It is.
you're showing
darn
us up,
impressive.
Cat. Come on now. This is why we're trying to get our joint business venture in France. All right,
Yeah.
it's got to happen.
Some people say that it makes you know what will haunt you for life.
I can't speak French, Miranda.
Je parle français.
None of us can, except for Cat.
Yeah. Cat will respond to that one if you please.
You guys can have a conversation if you so desire. We won't understand it.
Some people say that it makes you know what will haunt you for life.
What?
I don't know what that means, Elijah.
Some people say that it makes you know what will haunt you for life. What? All right, go eat. Gotta let that thing gorge.
So, Taco Bell. What? Doesn't Elijah, that doesn't clarify what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Taco Bell haunts you? Is that what you're saying?
Miranda says I'm not fluent in French. I only know some.
It's kind of like how I am with some Spanish, like,
Mhm.
and if we read
I
it,
like Taco Bell.
we can like, I don't know, we can kind of.
Some words are similar to Spanish, so you can kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah. Also, I
Sort of.
didn't explain this last time, but the Shikari class, the thief class, which Vaughn is one of the most broken classes in this game.
Okay.
They have the highest damage output in the game, without any exceptions. Hey.
Taco Bell haunts your booty for life, so people say.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay. I eat Taco Bell quite a lot.
Yeah, I'd rather not have this conversation. So, so when it comes to the convention, what was new this year?
What was new? Oh, they took away Whose Line Is the Anime,
Correct.
and we were really disappointed because
Very
that's
disappointed.
one
that
of
was
the
one of our favorite events.
yeah.
We participated in it
Every-
2 years in a row, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But this year they had something called the in-cosplay or in-character cosplay contest.
Do you know who Napoleon is? Yes, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon,
Yeah.
French George Washington.
French George Washington, basically, yes.
Good.
We were us as Americans are taught world history.
I remember.
Or for this- for
speaking of which,
most of
yeah,
it,
I
world
remember. Do
history.
you remember the show Deadliest Warrior?
I never watched it, but yes.
I remember one of the episodes they put Napoleon up against George Washington.
Did they?
Like they put his tactical skills. up
Napoleon
against-
Dynamite? No. I haven't seen that movie either, and I refuse to watch it.
They put Napoleon's tactical skills and George Washington's tactical skills up against each other, and then they went one-on-one, and I think George won in the end. I think.
I forget which battle it was that Napoleon lost in. Was it
Waterloo.
Waterloo? That's what. I was thinking it was somewhere else, like it was Waterloo though.
It was Battle of. I do.
But yeah,
remember-
like
do
I said,
remember that
we're
one.
taught basic world history
Mhm.
in America, but we are also it's very basic stuff, and it's stuff that it just goes to show history is made by the victors of basically everything. And us as Americans, as proud as we are, we've not really lost many wars. I mean, I guess you can consider Korea a sort of a loss, Vietnam kind of a loss, I guess. I don't know, though.
We got our butts kicked in Vietnam.
We
as
did.
far as I know.
I know we got our butts handed to us, but that's all I know. They don't really teach
I don't-
what happens.
Yeah, that's really all I know is that nothing really good came out of us going into Vietnam.
Right.
Have you ever heard epic rap battles of history? Yes.
Yes.
You're probably referring to the Napoleon versus Napoleon. Garem is back in chat on YouTube. Welcome. What about the Cold War?
Yes, we are taught about the Cold War pretty much in every grade.
The Vietnam War is skimmed over as like a little footnote in the big scale of the Cold War.
Yeah.
That's we're taught the Cold War is a grand.
Yeah, we're
it's
taught
like a
the
grand
Cold War.
thing.
We're taught from all the way from where it started to recent history, and like 9/11 and all that. And that's basically what we're taught up until that point. But the Cold War has always been for us in America. It's always been the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, progressive period.
History is pretty interesting. So
Yeah, I always
I
liked
agree
history.
with
It was always one of my favorite subjects.
very much agree with that.
And yeah, I think it was called progressive, or was it starts with a P. But it's the era that's after. It's like Reformation, then it's progressive or something, and then it's the start of or going into World War One, World War Two, Korean War, Vietnam War, Cold War, and stuff like that. And of course, we also have a few classes throughout our years of world history. Like we learned about obviously ancient Egypt. We learned about Mesopotamia. We learned about the Roman Empire. We learned about a few things that France did, a few things that England did, a few things that Germany did. Not many of other countries, though. Like, we don't learn beans about South America. We don't learn anything about Mexico or Canada. We don't learn anything about, and there are freaking neighboring countries. We don't learn a thing about them.
Yeah, it's mostly Europe and
like we don't learn anything about Russia either, except that they have a lot of nukes.
Except the Cold War.
Except
That's
the
the only
Cold War.
time we learned about Russia.
And World War II. That's it. Can you steal?
That was an interesting segue from Whose Line Is It Anime.
I don't know how that happened.
It's fine. It's the chat asked a question.
Yeah.
When chat asks a question, that takes priority. But anyway, as we were saying, Whose Line Was It Anime was not at the convention this year, which was really sad. But they had a similar event called Stay in Character contest, where you tried to remain in character and act as the character that you were cosplaying as. And both me and Cameron went to that, and we participated in it.
I didn't do so well, but I thought I did, because I was doing quite comedic things, but I didn't make it past the first round. You know the only French phrase I know? Je ne sais quoi. That's the only French phrase I know. I don't even know if that's actually French. I could be freaking mouthing gibberish. Yeah.
I normally, Cat said, I normally actually speak Gusta Esto at home, French, Mexican for the victory. For the win. Okay.
What was that word?
Gusta Esto. That was the only that didn't translate
Oh.
that one.
I normally actually speak.
Good English, maybe? Gusta? Me gusta? I like.
Likable.
Good. I want to say that's
Likeable.
good. I normally actually speak
Where are we?
good
The Estes Sound, by the
English
look
at
of it.
home.
Let's back
French,
to
Mexican
Master
for the
before
win.
we shrivel up.
I
By
got
your
that
leave,
one.
Captain.
Miranda is asking if you will take her hand in marriage.
Oh,
And
Yes.
Elijah says, us in 7th graders. Elijah, you gotta check your grammar, man. Learning about James Madison, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and the War of 1812.
Yes, we did learn about the War of 1812. Obviously.
Gar M on YouTube says, by the way, what's your opinion on
Zeitgeist movie theory?
Curious, as you are from U.S.
Zeitgeist.
Cat says
can't say
half
I've heard of
that was French and half was Spanish.
I can't say I've ever heard of the Zeitgeist.
I haven't either, unfortunately. What is it?
Yeah, if you
Miranda
could.
says, was I just denied?
You were not denied. Negative. I will accept.
Garam, my question to you is, what is Zeitgeist movie theory? We have not heard of it.
Yeah. If anyone has, please speak up or just go ahead and clarify for us.
And Cat was that the phrase that Cat said was
half was French and half
it was French
yeah.
again.
You kind of like go in between when you're speaking at home.
It's like Spanglish.
Yeah,
was
Spanglish
what
for us, which is Spanish
what we
and
did in
English,
school.
which also was a movie that I never saw. But hey,
So you did French again. You were speaking French again.
so now I'm just farming license points.
Mexench? Mexicanch?
Mexicanch. That sounds
Take
sounds odd.
Take your pick, man.
I'm gonna go get this other save crystal.
I
out
like
here.
I like French again better, actually.
Frenchican.
French again.
Frenchican. Look at that. Cockatrice. Do you say cockatrice or cockatrice?
Cockatrice.
Cockatrice. I always said cockatrice.
So while we wait on the answer from Garim, yeah, Cameron was there. It is. It's a movie that doubts 9/11, religion, etc. Quite popular in Russia.
There's a whole bunch of
She said something like, "I normally speak both well at my house, French Mexican for the win."
that's basically exactly
Pretty
what
close.
Yep.
Pretty close.
But anyways, there is a bunch of controversy and even conspiracy theories going on about all of 9/11, about all of religious debacles going on that happened during that time, the whole Iraq war, the whole Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and all that. And I'm just
Like the U.S. government made up.
and the whole Russians faking the moon landing and all that stuff like that. I don't believe any of that. I think it's a load of crap.
It's beyond. Yeah, it's just too far. Too far beyond me. Like it's too much new thought to put into a serious event, especially 9/11. Because the only thing that I take out of 9/11 is over 1,000 people died.
Yeah,
And that's awful.
that's
Like,
I don't.
That's all I care
like,
about.
and that's the thing. I don't care what anyone says about that. Like that's not just U.S. history at this point. That's world history. Everyone knows about that, or everyone
a lot
should know about
lot
it.
of bad decisions were made.
And
a
because
lot
of
of-
that, so many things have happened.
A lot of disregards were made, and because of that, over 1,000 people died.
Yeah. And that's why there's so many checks and all this there's new things. There's
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, says Miranda.
that's one thing that I actually can't stand is all those 9/11 memes that people make.
No,
I like memes, but people died for this stuff, and that hits me.
Yeah,
That hits me hard. Like I don't make fun of that, and that's my thought process on it.
I can sort of get the argument of people saying that if something is far enough into history, then it's safer to make jokes about that.
Right, but this is still like relevant to us.
Okay, yeah, it's
We're
still
still
fairly,
affected
it's
by
still
it.
fairly recent, and not only that, like it affects us more because of how local it was.
Yeah.
Like, given it was miles away,
But
it's
for me, it was miles away for you, but for me, it was literally less than an hour away from me, where I lived. Like that's some scary stuff. And around that time also, where I was living, there was a sniper in the area killing people. in Virginia where I was living. And that was a scary time for me. That was a scary time for all of us. Like, people were literally afraid that they were going to be shot and killed.
People will take more offense to certain things, and for us, like, you know, we obviously take more offense to people making jokes about 9/11. Anything involving like for me specifically, anything with jokes involving a school shooting, like I take. Right. Like that's a touchy subject for me. Thankfully, I've never been exposed to one before, but like that's a very serious matter.
It's a serious matter to me too, because when I was in high school, I played in band. We played a piece called.
Garem is probably asking you, how old were you during that?
During that, I was in 4th grade, so I was 9. When that happened, I was 9, so I was still old enough to actually understand what was going on.
Cat says, I feel stupid for not knowing what the heck you guys are talking about. I think it's fine. I mean,
yeah,
you're a foreigner. It's fine.
If you don't know about it, it was a big terrorist attack on the United States.
It's why I bet you. There's a lot of Americans here that don't know about the mass shooting that happened in France a long time ago, but several years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of Americans don't know about that, but I bet you do.
Yeah.
So
are we talking about the one where the military men off duty got the guy, or are we talking about something else? Because I know of like two mass shootings.
People here were calling it France's 9/11, in a way.
Okay. I think that's okay.
But I'm sure a lot of people from the U.S. or even a lot of people not in Europe probably don't even know about that.
9/11 is why Americans are violent. I mean, it could be. It's if anything, it probably is. There's that guy. It
definitely got Americans riled up.
There's that guy.
Oh right.
I don't like this guy. He hurts.
Yeah.
But I'm also over level, so I probably could beat him.
And Cat says, "Yeah, the French government is pretty effed up at the moment."
I heard that about France. I heard that about Canada. I heard that about.
See, look at. I'm a perfect example for this instance. I don't know about that. I didn't know that so many governments are not doing so hot.
I forget what I was just talking about, though.
Which governments are not doing so well?
No, not that one.
You were talking about this bird.
We're probably going to die.
I think you did some damage.
Maybe. Ooh.
Sorry, didn't mean to take out this subject. What about the game?
No, it's fine. It's
Miranda says the governments are all failing. We need anarchy.
No, what we need is a culling. That's what we need.
There are very few instances where
we need an apocalypse.
There are very few instances where people will start to think we need a little bit of anarchy to get the country back on track. We might be there.
We're probably there.
We may seem pretty close. Legalize the purge. I wouldn't go that far. The purge is a little scary. A little creepy.
The game's fun. Right now I'm just kind of doing grinding, but I can literally just go off and at any point because I'm already over leveled. I can just go over. Because I actually want to go back because I want to do the hunts that I can get to now.
So remember when we were talking about the in-character contest?
Yeah, I remember that.
You said that you were voted out the first round. That's basically we were given a scenario. We did a performance with 2 other people, and then the entire crowd voted on who they wanted to go to the next round. Cameron. Were you in a tie? I forget.
I was in a tie, and the judges had to come up with a decision.
Right. and they unfortunately did not vote for Cameron to move on to the next round. I made it to the finals where there were 4 or 5 of us.
I think you got third place.
4 or 5 of us left.
Yeah.
And let me see if I can remember what I said.
It was Bakugo, it was you as Tidus, it was the Joker, and it was
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill, yes. Hank Hill won.
So Hank Hill won
He deserved
and
it.
Joker got second.
Yeah.
Which they both deserved it. They did really well.
Yeah.
But the last scenario was a press conference. We were supposed to hold a press conference.
The
We were
whales.
supposed to give a scenario, and I'll try to remember what I said. I think I do. We were supposed to give a scenario, and then the entire crowd would raise their hands to ask questions, and I could pick 3 people to answer their questions.
Mm-hmm.
So my topic was, as Tidus, I gotta give more context. So earlier there was a scene where 3 characters were on the beach and they found a beached whale. And Joker was one of the members of the family, and he was all for just putting the whale out of his misery, and that's what he ended up doing. He just ended up killing the
Because
thing.
everyone just kept arguing.
That's
He
what
was
the
like,
that's what the Joker would do. He just, as they were arguing on what to do, he just stabs it with a crowbar. So anyway, it's my turn to talk, and in Final Fantasy X, the big mega villain is called Sin, and it looks like a giant whale. So I said, so it turns out all of the whales, there's a bunch of beach whales, and instead of pushing them back out to the ocean, people keep putting them out of their misery for some reason. And they're not happy about it. So they've come together and they've merged into this one giant whale called Sin. And he's destroying villages all across the land. So we need to rally up a group to fight Sin. And then I said, any questions? And the first person's question was, how do you know that the whales aren't coming to destroy? They're just coming to tell us, that they don't like what we're doing. So I said, I got an idea. You'll be our ambassador, and you will personally go ask the whales that question and see what they say. And then the second question was, I think the person asked me a question that was sort of hinting at that she was the one putting the whales out of her misery. And then I said, well, I can see you're the problem.
In this town, you're still a traitor, you know.
And then the final question was, I picked you, and what did you ask?
I said something along the lines of, do you think this has something to do with any religious extremist organization?
And then
Because that had pertained to Final Fantasy X.
And then to answer that, I asked the girl that had just previously asked the question about putting the whales out of their misery. I said, are you part of a religious extremist organization? And she goes, and I'll be like, I'll take that as a yes. And then that was it. And everybody loved it.
Everybody loved it.
They loved that I brought the whales back. And then that sort of became the running joke for everybody else's press conferences.
Mm-hmm. For the rest, like the whales were the running joke for the entire
thing.
For the entire segment of in-character contest, which running jokes are the best.
So I did not end up winning. Joker got second place and Hank Hill got first.
I want to say you got third place though, because people liked you.
When Joker got second for a minute, for a second there, I was like, that means I got first. I was like, everybody loved me. I got first.
But then it was like Hank Hill. It's like, oh wait, yeah, he actually deserved that. He did really well.
I gave him a good clap. I was like, that was.
He did astoundingly well.
Really good. But that was a fun sub in for the Whose Line Is an Anime contest.
Mm-hmm. We got to meet someone for the first time dressed as Arden, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's awesome!" And she completely handmade everything, and I thought that was awesome. Well, yeah, I was doing it.
It was super impressive.
So we sat there talking with her for a while, and she was pretty cool. We got asked when we were Prompto and Ignis Some girl looked like she was on the verge of tears, so happy to see us. And she's like, can I get a picture with you guys, please? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. She's like, can I please hug you? It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very flattering experience. But it just goes to show, like, people actually really did enjoy being around us, and I like that. I like that. I like that.
It's a good feeling knowing that you're making someone's day that much.
Like, even as fictional characters, it's just we made someone's day that much better. Why can't I get the other? I've got to be able to get it. You are in here. Why did I do that? Right now, instead of going through the actual
Game
and storyline, I'm literally playing the game and doing hunts, which are unique in their very own regard. But yeah,
It was really creepy seeing that pig laugh from a distance. In 2 times speed, he's doing it again.
Wait, is this 2 times speed or 4 times speed?
I don't know.
I think it's 4 time. Oh, it's 2 time.
What the heck? There's a 4 time?
Yeah.
That's
4 time
that's
is
too much.
4 time is specifically for grinding.
That's.
Because the original in this game, oh man.
I still play on original speed, mind you.
I know you do, and it's painful for me to watch.
You lived most of your life playing at normal speed. Why are you so ready to just
it's
throw
not
it
that.
away?
It's playing on normal speed on this one, right? This is normal, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
normal, but
fine with that.
But in the original, it was so much more crisp. This is too flowing.
I don't know what
Like,
that means.
You'd have to see a comparison, like, because when you go into combat, your character fights with the actions of 2 times speed. So they fight like this, as opposed to this. Like, it's so slow when you're in normal speed, as opposed to the original. Like, it's painful for me to watch. It looks like you're watching it in slow motion compared to the original. Like, that is a slow strike. Like, it wasn't like that in the original game. But in 2 times speed, this is more akin to the original. Albeit slightly less tone, slightly less speed. But yeah, that's enough of my rant. Anyone else wanna? We're gonna have to figure out what Bosch is gonna be next. We're about to get Bosch. This guy. He's nothing to me.
Well, if anybody in chat wants to help us pick our next character's class, be ready to help us choose. We'll when we get to that point, we'll be given the class menu, and then you can see all the classes to choose from, and then you can vote on it in chat. And depending on your vote is what we will choose for him. And if not, then we will just put all the classes into a spinner and then randomly spin to see what we get.
Yep.
You defeated.
I defeated. Now, I could go this way and go into a part of the Western Sand that I really should not be in.
Okay.
But I won't do that because I don't have a team yet.
Well, all right then.
And I'm almost dead too. I only have potions. I don't have white magic.
I just touched that really shiny crystal.
Yeah.
Good to go. Like nothing ever happened.
Is there any topics of conversation that anyone else would like to talk about? Ask. The history topic was kind of interesting. Seeing we're different.
I mean, as for this convention, I think we pretty much talked about like the key elements, the key moments and key happenings.
Yeah.
To to the best that we can.
Of what all happened.
The most we can really do more is like just keep talking about the same things and just keep sugarcoating it, which we really don't need to do. It was
beating that dead horse.
It was great overall.
Now they open up. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get my party first, because we don't want Von soloing things. Unless they're doing a Von solo challenge, which you can do. It's just really difficult. And we should probably join Clan Centario while we're at it, because we haven't done that yet. BBD, this guy's always in my way. So what I like about this game also is there's so much side content. Just this probably has the most side content of nearly all the Final Fantasies that I've come across, at least.
That pig's got moves.
Yeah, you do. Mont Blanc. That's a French name, I believe. Hey, buddy. Hey, I'm now a member. That's all I had to do is just talk to him. Want to give me stuff? Thanks. Thanks.
Hey, Buckethead.
Thanks.
Jeez.
Thanks. Thanks.
Hey, you're a new member. Have some stuff.
Could do the clutches.
Have some sweets.
Have some sweets.
Garem says, want to talk about the future? What jobs will be lost because of robots?
Oh, yeah. Like,
well, anything involving manual labor will probably be lost first. Any social jobs will definitely not be lost. Because there's nothing that a robot can replace or do better that a human can when it comes to socializing.
Right. But then again, who knows, man? That might change. AI is getting really stupidly smart.
It doesn't matter if they're smart. An AI can't communicate with a human like a human can.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. Like, come on.
You say you're pretty sure.
Let's be real.
That's not
about
100% confidence.
A computer only knows computers. It doesn't know like the ins and outs of a human.
You don't know that.
Shut up. We're not having this. Stop.
You don't know that.
Now you're just being dumb.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It's scary how freaking how great technology is. It's
great. An AI is so smart that it can solve a Rubik's Cube in 1 second. Great. However, I will not go to a robot for counseling.
okay. Yeah. That's not what.
That's
I'm talking
that's
about.
what I mean.
Well, are you afraid that? Aren't you afraid that AI might eventually become so advanced that
There's our apocalypse.
No,
No, I'm not afraid, because there's our apocalypse.
Go,
Robots take over.
Robots take over? It's not zombies.
No, but it is something mindless that is trying to come after us. I think it'd be
So
fun.
how
I
do
think it'd
you-
be fun to shoot robots. It'd be like that one Terminator game.
The one you always see in the arcades.
Yeah,
and
that
theaters.
Yeah, that cool one.
The one that's still somehow active
Hey,
after all these years.
it's so that is a cool game, man.
What was I doing? Oh, that's right.
That was the first shooter game that I played where like it gave you like a full assault rifle.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
But also more things about the future. What else does the future have in store for us?
Self-driving cars, that's a big one.
Oh yeah, that is. I don't trust them.
I wouldn't either. Like there's Cat on YouTube says, "Can I just say that so many normal French things are considered fancy, polite, and chivalrous outside of France? Just saying."
Yeah, I believe
I
that.
think so. Yeah.
I honestly
I
believe
mean,
that.
with us believing that, there's your proof.
like I'm not gonna lie. Us as a not us particularly, but Americans in general.
Why
as
are
a-
there so many kids flocked around Old Down? That's not right.
It's not good. But
Concubine over
us-
in the corner.
Look who we have here.
us as
You were sent off to Nantes.
Americans in general, I would
And I got
say,
out of there
and
as fast as I could.
for the most part, are
It was
very
all worth it, Dallin. Here, look at
compared to other people, and I'm.
Quite
This is
impressive
probably
you've got
stereotypical, but
Well,
aside
I
from
couldn't have done it without your help.
maybe the
So,
the English, the Brits, we're probably the rudest culture out there. So for us to say that, or for you to say that, normal things in your culture seem fancy, polite, chivalrous to other people, other cultures, it's probably because our culture is so not that anymore.
That's a sword of the old order.
We're not gentlemanly. We're not chivalrous. We're not fancy or polite anymore like we used to be. We're offended by everything nowadays,
I will.
and everything has to be our way, or we're gonna hurt you.
And so it is done. But will it be enough to
Cat
remind
Cat
him of
also
what the order
says,
once meant?
you know, there's a legal level of politeness in this one city.
Really?
Basically, if you don't say please and thank you, you'll get kicked out. Lol.
Boy, we need to implement that. Get some freaking culture in
Do you
our
know
culture.
how many little Americans would be left?
Good. I'm tired of the rudeness. Seriously. Like, I feel like I'm pretty rude myself.
Yeah.
But more so just of, I don't know, like, more rude to my friends. But in public, I'm not so much. I'm very polite. I'm very passive. And I try to be as like gentlemanly as possible and like as passive as possible, if that makes sense. I had to go. Yep. But it's just in other cultures. It's just we are considered rude. So are the British. So are, I guess, some Australians. But that's because they just don't care.
Then what do you make of Andor's proclamation? Are you suggesting they fooled even the Marquis?
What if a judge killed the king, not the captain? That would explain everything, wouldn't it?
Would it?
In that case, the captain would be brother to a judge. How are we to trust such a man?
How many outfit changes are you gonna have?
that I remember.
At least 7.
Then will you fight again at my side?
His word alone convinces me of nothing.
I'd take his word over that of a mouthpiece
Mouthpiece
Then you
Marquis.
name Rex liar.
Look at that guy with the helmet.
My
Can't
brother
see a
was no
thing.
liar.
Okay.
Just the
How
opposite.
many fingers am I holding up?
Rex was the witness they needed. They had to make it appear.
But there's
as if
your
our king
boy
Rex
Nolan
bears no
North
blame.
over in the corner.
The fates have willed it.
So this is Rex's brother.
One of
Words
Marshall's
may convince a child such as
favorite
this,
voice
but they
actors.
weigh far too
Yes.
lightly on the scales
Very
for
much
my
so.
taste. Our paths will remain separate.
Do you not think Amalia worth saving?
Also, fun fact, they
I hold
changed
men's lives in my hands.
Gabron's voice actor from this game to Bosch's voice actor in Dissidia.
I will not chance such
Which I find
disadvantage again. I
hilarious
must treat you as I would Andor,
because he
as I would
sounded
treat
so
any better
angry.
of the Empire.
He's like,
Then
I'm
what will
not
you
this
do?
character, but I will be.
Hold me here in chains?
You want hatred? Jeez. I forgot about that. It's so ridiculous.
Something's never
It is
changed.
absolutely not
Listen to me,
needed,
Bosch.
and it is ridiculous.
There's so many famous scenes in this game that you love and
Resistant
hate.
watch unblinking.
Let them watch. I know something of cages.
How to spot a foreigner. She accuses the guy holding the door of or paying for her coffee or flirting. She's not friend. That's true! That's so true! I hate it! Ugh!
Touched a nerve there, Cat.
Yes! Oh my god, I hate it. I've actually been accused of that crap.
Then you know her.
Just for doing that!
Sorta. We met just before.
Oh
the
my
incident
god, I
happened.
freaking
I
hate
know
that.
nicer people.
You have no idea. I was just being nice. It was for someone who was much older than me, too. I'm just like,
Annoying.
I'm sorry.
what?
Allow me one last annoyance.
Are you
favor
flirting
to
with me?
ask. I want you to take me to both here.
How dare you hold that door open? Oh.
Even
You have struck a nerve with me.
We couldn't have done it without.
Because it's true. I've that's it. I'm moving to France. It's where I belong. It's where I belong. I belong in that culture. I can't stand it. Oh, jeez. I've officially been triggered by this. Holy crap! It's not even an exaggeration. Oh, both here.
Yeah, I'm honestly deciding to opt out of this conversation.
Yeah?
There's really nothing like I can add, and even if I do, like, it could easily be taken in the wrong context. Like,
It's
there
because
is
I've already said it.
literally joining in on this conversation will win me nothing, so I won't have it. That's my philosophy on most arguments now. Instead of having the argument, just don't. Just walk away.
Yeah, you did that to me the other day.
Yeah.
Just okay. Like that's another thing too. Like anytime something, you just seem like you're always so mad. I don't know how to explain it. You just, I'll talk to you or I'll say something and be like, "Are you okay?" You'll be like, "Yeah." Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't know what's going on with your mind half the time anymore.
Mine.
Because I'm just like,
Mine had already died before
did
that.
I piss you off? What did I do?
The plague took them both.
Okay, what didn't I do?
I'm sorry.
Answer me that.
I didn't know.
And I don't know. It's just
It's
more
okay.
and more recently I've just kind
It's
of
been 5 years now.
seen that or
After that,
noticed it.
I live with my friend.
So I don't know.
Her family.
Another topic to discuss maybe, but
Then
it's just a noticeable
came.
thing lately.
I am sorry.
I don't know. I got nothing.
You don't have to keep apologizing. Really, it's all right. I know it wasn't your fault.
What else does
I see that
everybody
now.
want to talk about or give some
Vaughn and
didn't
Bosch
kill
for
my
having
brother.
a sentiment
yeah.
moment.
It was the.
You know, this is the
Empire.
one time we see a flag or a banner,
My brother trusted you.
and it's a pretty well intricate
He was
design.
right.
Best meme of 2019 so far.
Oh, there's a
It's
lot.
a wonderful, like, it's such an interesting topic shift. But
So-
I'd say it's good.
Okay. So you know how you hate the one meme.
Wait,
As I said, a
we have to
misunderstanding.
give praise.
What I am understanding
Let's
is
do
it took
it.
This
Pinello
man.
because of you.
What? What about Pinello?
Oh, Vaughn, they've taken Pinello. And there was a note for this Balthier. Come to the Museum of Minds, it said.
It's Begamnon. He was in Albina.
If anything were to happen to that sweet child, why, I've her parents' memory to consider. You're going to go to her aid, and that's that. That's what you Sky Pirates do,
He's gonna
isn't it?
chomp your face.
He's going to eat you.
He's looking down on him. He's like, "You're going to do it."
Fleet is massing at Bujaba.
And Balthier's like, "No."
Fine, then I'll go. You at least have an airship, don't you? Just get me there and I'll find Pinello myself.
I'll join you.
Huh?
I have some business there as well.
An audience with the Marquis by chance?
Bosch's outfit makes no sense
Both here. Just take us
at all.
and this is yours.
Like his throat just like closed for a
What
second.
was
He goes,
that?
Make yourselves
I
ready.
didn't notice that before. That was
You
bad.
didn't? No, it's like that's one of the things I always
It's
notice. Like
yours.
I don't know how he did that
Oof.
in his voice. Like I can't do that.
Oof.
But anyways,
Okay, best
best
meme.
meme.
2019.
One meme I know you specifically hate because it makes you uncomfortable is the Ricardo
Oh
meme.
yeah.
I love that
remember
meme.
too
I
late.
absolutely love it. It makes me laugh
That's
so
2019.
much. I think it's 2019 because. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Ricardo meme is
I don't know. I'm not gonna
2019
look it up to figure it out.
because you hate it.
Thanks.
All right. Before we do that,
Right.
we have Bosch to choose from for his.
Got 6 people watching.
We got 6
Can I
people
get- can
watching,
we
so
get 6
people better contribute.
Can we, okay, technically 4 people watching.
Okay, yes.
Can we get 4 votes?
4 votes.
Towards what Bosch is going to be.
Bosch, should he be a monk, a knight, a red battle mage, a machinist who uses guns, an ulan who uses spears, a white mage, a bushi, which is a katana user, or a black mage, or a foe breaker? We have 9 of the 12 zodiac signs to choose from. Or else there will be anarchy. Somebody help, please.
Somebody help us. I'm adding them to the wheel just in case.
Yeah. Because we don't have to choose right yet, but we're going to need to very soon. So if we could get votes in the chat, please, for anyone who's watching, please. Let me know when you got them all.
Yep, that's all of them.
Got them? Okay. We don't need them right now, but please, votes. My personal vote is...
Cat says Time Battle Mage.
We already have a Time Battle Mage.
Oh, right.
So, can't be a Time Battle Mage. We have Fran as the Time Battle Mage. Where was I going? This way. So that vote, you have to say something else, Cat, if you'd like to vote. Although, I think it would be kind of cool if Bosch was a Time Battle Mage. I've never done that play before. I think that would be kind of interesting.
Make him a white mage.
Make him a white mage.
Okay, Cat says Machinist.
Machinist with a gun? Okay, we got a vote for that. We do have a Capella.
1 vote for Machinist.
But now we have 3 ranged fighters.
Hey now.
If we do that. So we have 1 vote for Machinist, or Machinist.
It's what the fans want. They want to see Bosch with a gun.
Well, if we're about to change, we're about to choose, so you guys have... High five, Cat. Machinist. All right, 2 votes for Machinist.
Machinist.
That's 2 going once.
There are now 5 people watching, so that means there is 1 other person that has not contributed.
Yep.
So that means it is most likely going to be Machinist. Samantha Upgrove. That sounds pretty good.
Okay, Machinist it
Third vote
is.
for Machinist. Machinist. Sadie Upgrove says Machinist for sure. Bosch as a Machinist. Welcome Samantha and Sadie to the stream.
Hello and welcome. I haven't seen you guys before, but welcome. What is this? Oh, licenses, duh. Boss using a gun. That's different, but acceptable. Now I'm gonna do his... You already know Libra? That's good. He will have the battle harness.
This is a new one for me, seeing Bosch as a Machinist.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it because I had Bosch wield a gun once just to see what he did, but that was in the original version when he already had all the licenses. So it was just kind of like a thing. I want to see how he actually performs as a specific machinist, so to speak. Andy, where's... Oh!
Does he do anything cool with his guns?
No, he just... from what I remember, he holds his gun like this, and then he just aims it from his shoulder and shoots it. If I remember correctly.
Isn't that what everyone else does except
No.
Balthier?
Balthier holds it at his side. Fran holds it like this. Ash holds it like kind of behind her. Vaughn holds it like this, and then aims while crouching. Pinello kind of holds it hunched down, and then when she shoots it, she sort of kicks back with it.
Boss shoots
like
a true
that's
soldier.
that's another good thing about this game is everyone has different attack animations based on
Well,
what they
Balthier
use.
is the only one that shoots with one hand, right?
Yes, he's the only one that shoots with one hand.
Bosch shoots like a true soldier.
Yeah, Boss shoots like a shoulder. A soldier. He is a shoulder. That's all he is. He's just shoulder.
Nothing but shoulder. That's all he's built.
Alright, so we've done his licenses.
There are memes that have made me laugh. This is back on the subject of favorite
Yes.
memes of 2019. But there's not really like I haven't really kept up with the memes of 2019. I mean, the first thing that jumps to my mind is still the to be continued, but that's so old.
Yeah, that's
Like,
old,
a
but
dead
that's
meme.
one of my favorite memes still, and it is a dead meme, sadly. But there's also what else came by?
How about everyone else in chat? What's your favorite meme of 2019?
Yeah, that would be good to know.
Help me brainstorm on what's out there. Because, like, I recently watched, like, a couple meme compilations, but they look more like they're just jokes. Like, it doesn't look like a meme. It looks more like a joke.
Yeah. Like what? Gotta be specific, dude.
It's just funny. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Like, there was just these funny jokes. Like, that's it.
Let's do gambits for you so that you can heal somebody.
I like jokes that, like, something happens, but it comes to an abrupt stop. That's some of my favorite humor.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting items and gambits situated.
You're turning the robots on.
Yes. Since I'm in control of you, you're a gunner. Time to give you your gun. Although you have a mithril blade, so you're kind of better with it.
Can anyone use the mithril blade? I forget.
Yes, mithril blade can be used by anybody.
Very cool.
But we also have an iron sword that he can equip, which is better because he automatically comes with the Swords 2 license. Because he's Bosch. Because why not?
Well, does Balthier...
Avengers Endgame meme? Are we talking about the Ant-Man one?
Well, yes, but actually, no. What Ant-Man meme?
There's a meme going around where it says Ant-Man will for Avengers Endgame, Ant-Man will shrink down to the size and crawl up Thanos' butt and then expand. And there's a whole meme for that.
There's
like
a
showing,
meme for
yeah,
that?
there's a meme for that.
Oh my goodness. See, that sounds like a joke to me. That doesn't
It is a
sound-
joke.
That
It's a
doesn't
frickin'
sound like
joke
a meme that you can just... Like, once you've said it, and that's it. That's the joke. It doesn't sound like a meme that you can use in different scenarios. Like, that's kind of how I see a meme, you know?
Mhm. Like, I still find the Ricardo meme hilarious.
I don't know why. Why is that funny?
Why isn't it funny?
It's
You're getting
weird.
trolled.
It's weird. I'm sorry. It's just a little odd to me.
We vanquished the Wraith.
I'm not all about seeing a naked man dance for me. That's not my type of humor, man.
You wouldn't. That's another thing you also kind of wouldn't understand because, I mean, the military changed me, man. It changed me. So many things just don't phase me anymore. Like
the scene in Starship Troopers where they're in the showers together. Like I watched that and I'm like,
yeah,
like, is it over yet?
It's kind of exactly how it is. Like, yeah. So basically, I forgot that's a meme. I'm trying to figure out other memes. I don't. Last year had a lot of memes that, but this year it's only March. It's almost April, but not much else has really happened.
Cat asks, you were in the military?
I was in the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force. I was a firefighter. It was a fun time. I don't regret my time in it. That's what I was doing. think I was also going to the Esther Sand. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I can come up with an easy answer on the meme thing.
I don't know enough of them for 2019.
I'll just default to be continued.
Yeah, well, you don't know any other memes though?
Not off the top of my head. Thank you for
Yeah,
your service, says Cat.
Appreciate it. I hardly deserve it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. To be continued meme is a funny meme.
If you do it right.
Yes,
like
it's done right.
Some of them I've seen were garbage.
The GameCube one is usually pretty good. Those How to Chew 5 Gum. Those are good memes.
Oh, the Megalovania memes is another.
Oh
one of
yes,
my
those are
favorites.
still pretty
I
good.
like those.
Just because they just get cut off.
Because it's an abrupt stop.
Because you know exactly what it is.
That's what was great about it. One of the funnier ones that I saw was I was watching a Megalovania compilation video, and all of the videos was that joke. And there was one meme where something was about to happen, and you know that's when the music was going to play. But then it didn't even happen, and there was no music, and that was the funniest one, I think. Because, like, it didn't even get cut off at the first note. It got cut off before the song even played.
Oh, boy.
Bugenhagen says, give your meat a good old rub. If you're a butcher, it's good advice. When was the... When was the last time you've been to Smoky Bones, the restaurant?
Years ago, before I went in the military.
They put up a lot of posters of like ribbonisms or something like that. It's like a play on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them was that it was we give our meat a good rub, and then it was like ... stop laughing. Like all the posters for the ribbonisms are like kind of like play on words and almost dirty jokes.
I feel like you guys have already answered this, but have you guys played Terraria?
We have not answered that question, and no, I have not.
We have not. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't heard enough about it, if that makes sense. I also don't know if it is pertaining to my kind of game to play, so to speak. I'm really big on RPGs. Don't you cast 1,000 needles.
One came up and ganked you in the back. Am I too...
Don't do it!
Am I thinking too simple-minded that it's a Minecraft-like game, or is there more to it than that?
I always thought it was, unless I'm thinking of something else, I thought it was a 2D platformer. I might be thinking of something entirely different. But
I see when I'm thinking of Terraria, I'm seeing like 2D Minecraft is what I'm seeing. Like the pictures that I'm putting in my head from the wall, like the posters I've seen. But is it more than that? Is it more than just like a 2D Minecraft? I imagine it is. So much more to it, says Cat.
It is 2D though, isn't it? That is the one we're thinking of, yeah? Also going to show that this game has some of the best music. It's just also catchy. You love the Esther Sand
It's
theme.
a very triumphant soundtrack, I'd say. Like that would be, if I was to describe the soundtrack in one word, I would say triumphant. It is 2D.
Yep. Okay. Good.
And yes, I do love the Esther Sands music.
Now we're off to do a quest. A little side quest that will span about 40% of the game.
When I was first exposed to the Esther Sands music in Dissidia Duodecim. I instantly loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, what is this?
Like
This is so catchy.
I just forgot that you were exposed to Duodecim before you were exposed to this game.
Yes. I think every Final Fantasy, the first one for me, technically, was Duodecim, and then you had me play 10, and then everything else. But Duodecim was the first introduction to Final Fantasy for me.
Oh, okay.
I remember it was just on a whim. I went into a GameStop. They had it available, and I remember like you were talking about it a lot, and I was like, huh, sounds cool. Why don't I buy it? So I got it, and I loved it. I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I had no idea what it was about, but I got the hang of it, and I loved it.
You're here again?
Is that a different one? No, it's got a different power-up.
It does. It
Not
has a
Michelle.
bravery power-up this time, which is bad because it hits
Yeah,
harder.
man.
It's harder, but
Hurt-
that's okay because now
hurt you.
Fran is...
Just giving you a hand.
Steal. Don't. Now we're gonna try and steal from this thing forever. Because he carries a rainbow egg. They sell for a lot of gil, but also
No wonder he's fighting so hard. You're trying to steal his eggs. Everybody's missing though.
yeah. For rare monsters, the rare chance steal the steal chance is like 5%. So, care to explain a little bit more of Terraria, Cat? If you would. This is entirely not what I was trying to do. I just happened to come up to him. Stop.
This chubby bird is gonna wear you down. Cat says, there's so many bosses, pre-hard mode, then they become mechanical and harder to beat. Expert mode is super fun too. So many NPCs, and you can make a lot of different types of play styles. So that sounds way more than my first impressions on the game.
Right. The reason I want to steal it is because when you sell the rainbow egg in the bazaar, it comes up as a high potion pack, which for this part in the game, this early in the game, is really good to have.
It's a really good game, says Cat.
You know what else is a good game?
What?
Crisis Core. Another game I had.
You mentioned Crisis Core a lot. Why don't you explain the mystery behind Crisis Core for the rest of us?
Well, it's a Final Fantasy VII continuation game, but at the same time, it's the prequel to it. And I was never big on Final Fantasy VII, but I got it on a whim because at the time I was like, I just finished Final Fantasy X, I finished Final Fantasy 9, and what?
Sorry, that was a funny freeze frame.
No,
Go on.
I didn't get it. Oh well. And at the time, I was just kind of like really starting to get into Final Fantasy, and then I saw a trailer for Crisis Core, and it seemed like the main protagonist, Zack Fair, was a relatable character, and in fact he was. He was a very relatable character. And at the time, I was in high school when it came out in 2008. And I was super excited for it because I already had a PSP. I had this was before Dissidia came out. But I started playing it, and I was like, I really wanted. I just fell in love with the story. I fell in love with the game, the characters.
Hagen agrees that Terraria is good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Terraria. I think actually my Richard told me to play that one time.
I think. Are you thinking of Terra? Because he
I
told
think
he
he
told
told-
me to play Terra.
I think he told me to play Terra also, but I think he also said Terraria. But I could be wrong.
I always heard Terra. Keep going on the Crisis Core.
Oh, it's just that's basically it. It just it became one of my favorite games very quickly, and to this day, I think it has one of the better stories out there, one of the best gameplay. Eventually, towards the end of the game, it becomes nothing but mission grinding, but it's still a fun game. It's still a good story. It's what I wish more games would be like. If that makes any sense.
That's some bold words.
Well, can you disagree with me? Because you yourself like Crisis Core.
Well, in terms of gameplay, I would say that when it, of course, this is coming from a bias of someone that wasn't you know, spoiled with RPG style combat.
Right.
In terms of Final Fantasy, I'd say yes, it stands above the rest in terms of when it comes to gameplay and story. But unfortunately, for my taste, it doesn't really cut it in terms of
Gameplay.
in not just gameplay, in terms of games.
Oh.
Like, I mean, it was good. I won't deny that it was great.
But yeah, it's a game I would recommend. Unfortunately, it's only out on PSP, and PSP is very irrelevant nowadays. And that's really sad to say because it was such a good system. I mean, it's freaking portable. It's like an updated Game Boy. And I never grew up with a Game Boy, dude.
That was me.
Yeah. So you can understand what I'm talking about. And it was PlayStation. So you know, like, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
But now, it's kind of irrelevant. I wish my PSP still worked, though, because I've been missing playing Duodecim a lot.
I'm pretty sure that the PSP is fairly cheap if you get one online.
Probably.
So I would recommend to you just get another PSP so
I
that we
know.
can play Duodecim again.
I know.
Please.
I know, because you want to get
I
one.
want to play
You wanna
Duodecim again. After playing the newest Dissidia and being fairly disappointed, I want to go back to play Duodecim. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go back to the roots.
What phrase do you think you say the most?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Why don't we pitch that out to everybody in chat? Is there a phrase that you feel like you say a lot?
Or for those...
Like, if you, like, would you, like, looking back at it, would you say might be your catchphrase?
I don't think I have a catchphrase.
Or, like,
or a phrase that
common phrases?
I do know that I say just and still a lot. I know for a fact one of my coworkers, he says and stuff a lot.
And stuff.
He just like after just about every sentence he says, he'll say and stuff. Like, and I'm just and I pointed out to him. He's like, yeah, I don't know, man. But I pointed it out, and I just find that funny. So it's kind of like that, yeah. He says and stuff a lot. I say just a lot. I say still a lot. We all say a lot. Like
says Bugenhagen.
Yeah. I try not to say like all the time, but it's
Yeah.
become so.
That
Hey.
in school they really, like, in public speaking classes, they really tried to get you out of the habit of saying like.
Yeah.
And I tried to do that as much as I could.
It's ingrained into our speaking nowadays, like. Because now even our parents say stuff like say like all the time.
I've
in
noticed
reference
that
to
I
everything.
say a lot of things that my dad says.
Like Jeepers?
Yes. I say a lot of old-timey stuff.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like people look at that and they wonder like, what am I talking about? Like, what are you from the
Mech?
what are you from the 70s?
Is that a term, a French term, or is that just something entirely different that I have no idea what you're talking about? Cat. This was the cat.
Like a lot of old-timey stuff I say Jeepers, I say good grief. But I kind of use that as my way to not swear. It's kind of a fun substitute for me.
It's a fun euphemism is what it is.
Cuz it kind of like makes me like laugh on the inside when something serious happens and I'm just like, good grief.
Yeah, it's French. Does it mean poo?
What about your least used phrases?
Well, as opposed to
that might be harder because I don't use it enough.
I did come up with a phrase when I was in high school called hold on. What was it? Crap. It was I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And then a bunch of people started using it. And I'm like, I made up that phrase. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Least used phrase.
Least used phrase?
Scuba. I'd have to agree with you. I haven't used scuba a lot. I'm on a record. Actually, no, I just broke it. No, man.
Oops.
But yeah, there's very little that I have to use the word scuba.
Me and Mike, or Mike and I, use oops a lot. Well, especially in terms of really comedic.
Oh yeah,
things.
I think that's rubbed off on me too. What
something bad happens, we just go oops.
Or
something.
Or you'll point out something that's like different, or something that's changed, or something that's gone like a little wrong, and I'll just go, oops.
Like, no, it's because it's funny.
Even if it's not even my fault, I'll just go, oops. I don't really know what it would be in English. Mech. Or mess.
Oh, what would it be in Spanish then? Maybe we can figure it out from Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe in context, when would you say it?
Right. You're not dead.
I think a lot of the old-timey stuff that I say comes from Scooby-Doo and the old Peanuts cartoons, which makes sense because that's probably where my dad gets it from. Like, good grief is
yeah,
Peanuts.
I know for a fact that's
Jeepers
where my dad gets it from too.
Scooby-Doo.
Looks a little down on the beak. And now we're off to do one of the hardest challenges this early in the game.
Doing what?
Fighting the Cluckatress.
The Cluckatress.
Yes. We are probably going to... I should probably save. I haven't saved in a while. You okay, Nick?
Is it a different way of like? Is it a different way to say maybe or huh?
Is it a term of endearment for somebody? Or is that what mech usually means? Does it mean are you okay, or is that just are you okay mech? And like this is I'm just trying to figure that out.
There's a lot of phrases that I tried to teach myself but never actually did it.
Or mech, what the is it like man or dude?
Probably like I see that as man.
Yeah, I see it. Are you okay?
You
or
okay,
mate?
man?
Or mate?
Yeah, are you okay, man? Are you okay, buddy? You okay, mate?
Or mate, what WTF?
Mate, WTF. That is the best way I can see that in context. You okay, man?
Like even saying that to a girl, are you okay, man?
Okay, man. Dude, what are you doing?
What are you doing, dude? Now I gotta kill everything.
See, now we're starting to like talk about like you know okay
like
I don't really like when people do that. Like they
yeah
they use like in after almost every word.
It's because it's become so engraved in our
It's when you
speaking.
use it too much. It's a little overbearing, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I use...
Like, I'm fighting the urge to say it,
I guess
and I just said it.
I guess I say you know a lot.
Yeah. Like?
But I wanted to... My least used is definitely...
Impediment?
Impediment. It's a big word to just, like, to be using a phrase. What's the context on that one? But yeah, I wanted to pick up, like, other cultures' words, like, in it.
Like, in it? Yeah, like, in it.
But
like,
I kind of don't use it enough. I usually forget.
I say, are you taking a piss a lot? which is British slang, I guess. Like, that's another way of saying, are you freaking kidding me? Or are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
It's, are you taking a piss? Like, I know it's a little out there,
no,
but
well, you see, like, in see now that we've, like, pointed it out, I don't want to say, like, all right, there's everyone's challenge, or I guess it's our challenge.
don't say like.
Don't say like.
What if you like someone?
That's fine.
But we can't say.
I like this game. That's fine.
Okay.
Using it the way that.
Okay.
Using it
using it how it's supposed to be.
I guess.
Yeah.
If I were late to class, I'd say it.
We are being hurt.
Impediment means
Help.
if I were late to class.
If I were late.
Could you use it in a sentence?
Could you use that in a sentence? Oh no.
I'm in a spelling bee now. That's a baseline excuse for being tardy.
Do your work, Bosch.
Oh yeah. Wait, he shot it with one hand. Did you see that?
Oh,
Look
he
at him,
does.
he's doing it.
Hold on. Oh, he
Hey.
does.
Hey.
I think they
That's a
changed that animation.
That's a screensaver if I ever saw one.
Yeah, this is already getting
I
tough.
remember I looked up a bunch of.
Oh, you're dead.
Oh, I looked up a bunch of English slang, and a lot of the things that they say we would find absolutely odd, or we would completely misinterpret it. But it's completely normal there.
Like what? I just said like.
I think that's fine. Maybe. Example. The streamer wanted to know the meaning of... Thanks. Thanks, Boogan.
Thanks. Well, there's taking some hits out there. Bosh, don't die.
There's like, there's one on the tip of my tongue. A phrase from British. From Britain.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
This is tough without a white mage. Like, it's really tough. I just said it again.
You know what? Instead of just sitting here puzzled, I'll just look it up.
Bosh, are you okay? Well, my high potion's about to be gone.
Teacher. Imparchment? Me. Imparchment. Teacher. Tasu. I'm sorry if I completely butchered that.
Tassur. Yes. Ho ho ho.
Impediment is the translation.
Uh-huh.
See, I've heard that word before, impediment.
Yeah. Come on, keep purifying yourself. Waste a turn.
English or British? British slang.
Yeah, what's some British slang?
All right, I'll throw some out there as a quiz to you.
Okay.
All right, what would if? All right, if I said, here's the sentence. Cat saying no, it's more of a. Oh, the from where I've heard impediment is like speech impediment.
Oh my.
Is in a hindrance, I guess.
Good lord, what happened?
Everyone's dead? Fran's still in it. I'm British. I got the British slang.
Oh, good.
Okay.
We died.
So, first game over. So if I said,
like I said, it's hard without a white mage.
If I said, here's the sentence. The birthday party went all to pot. That's the phrase, all to pot. The birthday party.
All the crap.
The birthday party went all to pot when the clown turned up drunk and everyone was sick from the cheap barbecue stuff. All to pot refers to a situation going out of control and failing miserably. So I guess you got that right.
Yeah. When the S hits the fan.
All right, blinding.
Blinding.
That tackle from the Spanish player was blinding. And Boogan is confirming it. Minute went tits up.
Oh, that's it. Yep. It all went tits up. That's another way of just going to crap. I'll be honest. I got most of my British.
Oh, Boogan's beaten you. Blinding is good. Excellent, great, superb.
I'll be honest. I got most of my British slang from the movie Kingsman.
I got mine from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, there's that too.
Cat says, I'm late, but I don't really have a reason why I'm late other than plans changed. So, okay, so it's basically just to say, you know, I'm late. I got nothing. I got no excuse. I'm just late.
Right. Oh, that's not.
Well, I'm glad that's your least used slang.
I don't have a gold needle.
I'm glad that's your least used expression because that means that you have a very good attendance. That's what I got from that. Everybody knows what bloody is.
Yeah.
What? Thanks, Honda. It's a Honda ad. What about Bob's your uncle or Fanny's your aunt?
I'm sorry, what?
Here's the sentence. Get the food, put it in the microwave, heat it up, then Bob's your uncle, ready to eat.
Never would have got that.
Can you, from context, do you know what that means?
No.
It means
To give Basha.
for those unaware, the expression
Sword and shield
essentially
this time.
used in the end of a series of basic instructions. The origin of the expression is unknown. Okay, so that's
How many remedies do
so
we
that's if like we were to say you do this, you do this, you do this, and then before you know it, you got this. So Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That's kind of like them saying before you know it. Means you'll be good. Says Bugenhagen. Cat says it means no Scheisse.
I think I'm going to lose.
Do you know the multiple meanings of bollocks?
No. To be honest, no.
Bugen's gotta go. Alright. Well, thank you for tuning in to this stream.
Yeah, thank you.
We enjoyed chatting with you. Hopefully you'll be around for the next one. See you later.
Good lord. Holy crap. They want.
Stupid.
Yeah, I say holy crap a lot.
Cheerio.
Good lord.
I like that we have a Brit in the audience.
Cheerio.
Brass monkeys.
Brass monkeys.
Means it's
Seriously.
cold.
What?
It's brass monkeys outside. It means it's cold.
Never would have guessed that.
Me neither. Butcher's hook means take a look. But the phrase is shortened to butchers. Have a butchers at this. It's like really interesting to me.
Why are you attacking me?
Chunder.
Chunder.
It's to vomit. Gavin said that
Did he?
before.
Oh.
Right before his character was about to puke, he's like, "You're gonna chunder." Dodge. Ah, here's the actual definition of Fortnite.
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Hunky dory.
That's British?
Yep.
Huh. You are taking too much damage.
Kerfuffle.
I didn't know any of these words were.
It's a fight. Minging. Minging. It's gross. Nice one. I guess we stole that too.
What did we steal?
Nice one.
I mean, it is English.
Our kid? Alright, now we're just pulling anything out of the hat. Sick. What? Alright.
I don't think this is British anymore. I think it's just English.
Could just be English. Alright. Thank you for the entertainment.
No, about the air.
This thing's been smacking you around like crazy.
Yeah, it wants
This is
to
an
go.
epic battle. Big sword.
Stop.
Everyone else is just
Stop.
chilling over there.
Like, they don't.
We have been going for 2 hours. I thought we were going much longer than that.
I thought we were going shorter than that. Bosh. Why would you do that? I can't beat this thing. Like, it does too much damage. Come on, Vaughn, you're our only hope. Are you gonna make
That was
it?
another good freeze frame. Sorry.
Oh, he made it. Oh, what a fight. Sorry.
Cat said, "What accent can you do best?" See, I like accents. I would love to try and perfect my.
I would like to
accents.
try. I would like to perfect accents. People have told me my Aussie accent is pretty decent. I've been told my British accent's pretty good. I can't really discern a good Irish accent. I can do a few words, I guess, but I'd like.
You
thinking
lose
of it
it
now?
after a while. Like
Yeah.
once you've said, I might have to give up on the whole like thing. Once you said the words that you know how to say in an Irish accent best, you're kind of out.
Yeah.
Your accent is used up.
I'm not sure if I'd even be able to do it now, to be honest.
Just do it without thinking about it.
See, now you're telling me not to think.
My British accent, when it comes down to it, I do it more in a joking way. Well, if I was to do a British accent, it would sound more like this.
Yeah.
It's more of a joking way. It's not more.
Of a joke. I mean,
Like if I was to talk like this in Britain, like I'd probably get smacked across the side of the head. It doesn't make any sense. I'd be making fun of them. Innit?
Yeah. Innit? Innit, right? Yeah.
I see it more as a stereotypical accent than a true British accent.
Right. And then you got the whole Aussie accent where you got the stereotypical. You gotta get it down to.
My Aussie accent will turn into my British accent if I go for too long.
What was I doing?
But yeah, it's also more of a joking accent.
Yeah. As opposed to.
Like I go out to the swamp in the evening.
Do a New York or Boston accent. Like there's accents for bunch of places in the United States
to
even.
The swamp late that evening with some steaks and a barbie.
Crikey, she's a beauty, ain't she? By the way, rip Steve Irwin. Because
no, he doesn't deserve a rip. He deserves a rest in peace.
He does deserve a rest in peace. I don't care what the news says about you, what PETA says. Screw off.
I feel like I can't do a New York or Boston accent without swearing, and I don't want to swear on stream. I can do stereotypical American and British accents.
Prove it. Prove it.
Send us a voice clip. Email us a sound wave.
Then we'll decide. Okay, we have to go to the Aerodome. So we're off to Bajur, I think. I think I've done everything I can do here. Did I rank up? I did. I'm a rear guard now. I'm a rear guard. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
I think the Ainsley meme is kind of fun too. Are you still with us?
Deep southern accent.
That isn't even southern, dude. It's just I don't know what accent that is.
Smacks me, boy.
Shit, boy.
Don't you talk down to your elders, boy. That's an Arthur Morgan accent. You got some money for me, boy? Seen your name in a ledger.
You said what now?
Ledger. I've seen your name in a ledger.
Huh. Okay. What are we gonna have our final contestant be? That's the question.
What do you mean?
And when we get her many moons down the way. Won't be getting her today for sure. Talking about the Ash.
I'm crying laughing at 1 a.m. This is a shame.
Glad we could entertain.
We're also sorry that
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy being exerted at 1 a.m.
Please don't cry. We hate it. We don't know how to handle it.
Please don't cry.
That's one of Marshall's absolute pet peeves is crying children. Oh my God, that's another thing we can talk about for the frickin' hotel experience that we had. Oh my God, I was so mad. You explain it. I feel like if I talk about it, I'm gonna get
triggered.
heated.
You're gonna get triggered.
Oh, I was so mad. I almost went out. Oh, you explain.
All right, so we get to our hotel room, and immediately the people across the hall from us are very loud, and it's a man. I don't know if it was a husband and wife, if it was if they were a couple, or if they were just two different hotel guests that were, oh my goodness, that were yelling at each other because one of them had a kid that would cry a lot. So anyway, they would argue about it, and they would get really, really loud about it. And it came down to nighttime when we're all supposed to be in bed, and the child is starting to cry. And what Cameron was talking about with me not liking crying children, I get very uncomfortable when children cry because I immediately think that something is wrong that is making the child upset, and the adults aren't doing anything about it. Either they can't, either they won't, or they don't understand that something is wrong with the child. And I like just have this need to I want to do something to help the child stop crying. So that's why it makes me so uncomfortable. But anyway, it's about 10 at night, maybe even later. It's probably like maybe 11 or 12, and the child starts crying, and the man starts like yelling, like demanding that the child go to sleep. And the way he's yelling is why it made me think that they didn't even know each other. And then the woman starts yelling back. And then after that, the crying stops. We finally start getting ourselves to go to bed. And then all of a sudden, this really loud hip-hop music is playing from outside.
Outside our window.
Outside of the window, and it fades in, and then it fades out, and then it fades in, and then it blares loudly, and then it fades out again. And this happened for several hours in a row. Cameron gets up, and he's like ready to go outside and get himself killed or something. Like, he's ready to storm out and say something, and
why did you cast magic?
It's like game over. Oh, Bosch is still in it. So yeah, it was not a very good. It was not a very good experience for trying to go to sleep.
Jeez, freaking idiot.
Like, for all we know, it was like a gang initiation or something. It was just a very, very inconsiderate person that just kept driving his car around from the front of the hotel to the back of the hotel, playing music really loud.
Yeah, and
it was weird because, for me anyway, it was weird because it would go from blaring to immediately stopping to slowly fading in as if the car had driven off and driven back.
Right.
It was the weirdest thing.
But then they came back inside. And they were playing music inside next to our room or something. That's what it sounded like.
It sounded like it sounded like the music was coming from inside. But that would have meant that the person had to be holding a boombox over their shoulder, and that didn't really make a lot of sense because it was that loud.
But then I remember hearing specifically the guy. I know the music was in at the afterwards. It was inside the hotel. Because I heard the guy and this woman were having an argument, and during the music, where it would go into a little lull spot, where it was a little lower, he would say, "Come on, I just want to dance with you," and I heard her say no, and then the music got louder. I'm just like,
I didn't hear
that. You didn't hear that. I heard that.
I didn't know what that
because
was.
I was standing out. I was next to the
weird,
door
dude.
when that happened. And I was like, I'm about to go out there.
That's weird.
Like, that's what I heard, and that's what almost made me go out. Because I was just like, I don't feel like dying today. But I was...
Not today.
Like, I was so ready to go out there. And just tell the people to shut the hell up. Because I was so mad and so livid at them.
I was convinced that it wasn't even inside the hotel.
I don't know. But yeah, that happened at the friggin'...
What's the funniest thing that's happened to you this week?
This week? I don't know. I've kind of had a boring week aside from the convention.
Well, what was funny about the convention?
There was
This is the straw.
there was the whole whale joke at the convention.
That was good.
The cosplay dating game had some funny moments in it.
Mm-hmm.
She airship enough for you.
Told you.
Oh.
Told you.
You really are a sky pirate.
Now I'm convinced.
Headhunters seem to think so.
Now I'm convinced you're a
What's
sky
your word?
pirate.
Is she ready?
Look at those Moogles.
All right. What did you steal?
So is she armed?
How fast is she?
Yesterday was hilarious. What happened yesterday?
I suppose I could tell you.
Where are your socks?
Would you rather see
I don't understand you both here.
He's such a bro.
So come on.
I could tell you, but wouldn't you rather see for yourself? Yes.
Yes.
Brian, how cool.
Scene straight out of Star Wars. Just literally compare the two together.
How flies, Busheba?
Yep.
Oh, she's free as can be.
Because Balthier is Han Solo and Fran's Chewbacca.
Took notice when they announced the princess
Bosch
and
is Obi-Wan, and Vaughn is Luke.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Star Wars. They're going to.
Going to rescue Princess Leia.
Well, not yet,
We are.
but they will.
This plot is us going to. Right now, Penelo is Leia. But when Ash comes into play,
She's Leia.
then she's Leia.
And then you got Nolan North, who's weird.
I don't think he can play the part.
Who would Vane be in this? Because he's not.
The Emperor, I guess.
No, because he kills the Emperor. Kills his father.
Who does?
Vane.
No, well,
But who's Darth Vader?
who kills? Doesn't Gabranth kill Vane? He assists in killing Vane.
No.
Well, Gabranth is Vader.
All right. Sure.
And if Gabranth, and then when Gabranth turns to attack Vane instead, that makes Vane the Emperor.
I have my brother. She eats well.
I guess, yeah.
See that she does. We need
Because
her
Gabranth
alive.
does have a
Balthier's
redeeming
blade
moment
must
at
be
the
fresh.
very
I
end.
keep trying to tell you. I barely even know who Balthier is.
My brother, a message come from Ravenaster. The Strahl she set sail.
A message come
She
from
makes
Ravenaster.
straight for the sky city of the Sherpa. Barely know, was it? Yet all a trace he goes bounding off for you. Tell me, how could that be?
That's what I'd like to know. I just met him that one time and that's
Does
it.
that tongue never stop? What if we...
He asked you a question.
As for you, we need Balthier alive.
I was taking my niece and nephew out to lunch at this restaurant. This guy and his girlfriend walked in and sat down. The server comes out to take their order, and they went to get this chicken thing.
Uh-huh.
Go on. I'm intrigued now.
Now we're invested in the story. You'll find out next week. What? No! They're British, by the way.
Okay.
Lots of cutscene, man. Oh, look how pretty.
It's a common French thing that the restaurants you always get bread.
Okay. Did they not get bread or something?
They got a chicken apparently.
They're like, what is this? I don't want that. And they start throwing it.
What the heck is this? You call this bread?
This is a baguette.
Easy.
I do not like
he's not here.
baguettes.
Keep searching. This way.
Yeah, I don't know if Larsa plays a role either.
You're a dead man. Don't forget it.
Of course.
Yeah, don't forget it, Bosch.
Isn't that right?
Bosch, did you hear me, Bosch? Don't forget it.
Okay, Bosch?
Another one of the more ridiculous moments of this game.
Vaughn's a freaking idiot.
I can't. There's some moments in this game that I just can't.
So the server brings out the bread and they start saying they didn't order it. Okay.
Let's begin.
We didn't order that.
The Lusu mines are just
That's like when
ahead.
it's like when some restaurants give you
Oh, I
complimentary
do hear
water
there's
and you're
not
like, I
much
didn't
left
order
there
this.
these days.
I demand to see the manager.
Then please allow me to accompany you. I have an errand to attend to there.
What manner of errand?
What errand? I might ask the same of you.
Everybody speaks so regally, except Vaughn.
Right. Come on
Except
then.
Vaughn.
What?
Excellent.
Do me a favor and stay where I can keep my eye on you. Should be less trouble that way.
Mm-hmm.
For us both.
So what's your name?
And the girl
Oh,
got upset,
I,
thinking
I'm-
she was
I'm
going to
Lamont.
pay extra for free bread.
Don't worry. I don't know what's in that mine, Lamont, but you're in good hands.
Why is this a thing?
Right, Bosch?
Jeez.
Right, Bosch?
He's like, oh my god. It's like, I just told you.
Baltier's like, you're in for a hell of a trip. Why is this kid with us? Just to say, Baltier is only 5 years older than Vaughn.
He's a lot smarter.
He's a lot smarter. Baltier is 22 in this game. 22.
I don't look at.
Like, how, right?
He
How-
looks like he could be 30.
Right. Yes, swiftness.
Excuse me. Did the argument get any more?
Crazy.
Yeah, did it get more out of control than that, where they literally demanded to see the manager because they have to overpay for the bread?
Or they do
The
that
free
in
bread.
America.
No, well, in America they just steal the bread.
Yeah.
Like at some restaurants, the bread is worth stealing.
So they're waiting for the food. Then the girl's boyfriend goes get a piece of bread. Girl slapped his hand away. Kenny, this is how they get you. If you eat it, you'll pay more. That's funny.
Kenny,
Kenny!
this is what I've taught you. This is what your mother taught you. You're not supposed to. No, Kenny.
No, Kenny.
Not
That's
the
the truth.
bread. Not the bread, Kenny.
This is how they get you. That's
You-
funny.
Kenny, you mustn't.
Kenny, that's not what you do. Ugh.
What is that thing?
What?
That.
This?
What is that? A sail?
Scales.
Scales.
They're measures. They're different types of weapons. They're completely useless.
And my niece asked me why the woman was screaming about some bread.
Why is she screaming about bread? Please, Mom. Please, Auntie. Please, Uncle. Whoever. Tell us.
Why is the bread such a big deal?
Why are the angry Brits mad about bread?
Those
Those-
angry Brits.
Those crazy angry Brits.
What is it with people
Let's give you an
hiding their
intro, will you?
names? I don't like hiding my name. I'd like people to know that it's me. If you were to give yourself an alias, what would it be?
Never thought about that. I don't want to say. in case I ever become a fugitive on the run. You can respect that, right?
I suppose I can. If I was to ever become like a horror writer, I would want my name. I would want my pen name to be Sean Morningstar.
Okay.
The story behind that is when I went to go look for when the waiter brought the food, she started screaming about about taking the bread back because they didn't want it. The server said it was free, and then she said, "Oh yeah, sure, free bread, right?" Jeez. Because a restaurant's gonna lie to you. I've never been to a restaurant that just flat out lied to you just to get you overpaid for something.
Wow.
I've met people that do that.
Yeah.
I've met some shysters.
Shysters.
Yeah, speaking of shysters, though, when I was first looking for my car, we went to the first dealership that we went to. The guy that came to talk to me about the car that I was interested in, his name was Sean, and he was very proper. He was in a suit, and like he was a very good-looking guy, and he was just like like any car salesman, he just like instantly took control of the situation so that he was the top guy. But like after I was done with the conversation, the only thing that I got out of it was that I was with your dad at the time. The only thing that I had in response to it all was like, I think I just spoke to the devil.
It's funny because they have a show called Lucifer.
Yeah.
That pretty much is that exact.
I've read scary stories and creepypastas where like that's the trope of the devil, is that he takes on a very handsome man in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was just like, I think I just spoke to him. I was just like,
she started screaming to see the cook. So the cook comes out like, "Why won't you eat my bread? You're insulting my cooking or something." And this 20-year-old started arguing with this old man.
The chef comes out.
Why won't you eat my bread? Wow, when the chef actually comes out and be like,
"Excuse me, why aren't you eating my bread?
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with the bread?
Please explain to me what is wrong with this bread. Has it hurt you in any way? Where has the bread touched you?"
So your dad made the comment that like, I think like one of the devil's aliases was like Morning Star or something like that. So then that's when I got the idea of Sean. His name must be Sean Morningstar. And then later I thought, if I ever become a horror writer, that's gonna be my pen name, Sean Morningstar.
I need to buy more Phoenix.
Her boyfriend is just embarrassed about everything.
I would be too. I'd be like,
she started screaming to see the cook. Jeez. Oh, you're selling stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like for a second, I saw the numbers were going up, and it like didn't click in my head on why I was doing that. It's like, wait, what's going on here?
What happened?
And then I realized, yeah.
Yay. Thanks.
You made a Moogle so happy today.
I made it doubly
Look at
happy. That's a happy Moogle.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed of that too. Like, I'd be like, just stop, please. It's not. It's bread. Take this bread back. You will not charge me extra for something I didn't order.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I would be even more embarrassed after the puzzle was solved.
One of the richest veins in
After the riddle was finally solved. I'd be like, oh my goodness. You just argued with the cook and the entire staff about free bread.
Well, shall we proceed?
Excuse me.
Why are you dying? You've been coughing a lot like that lately. It's worrying me.
Might be my time. Not that I want to jinx it or anything, but you never know. Well, that was close, dude.
They almost saw you.
You will forgive me for asking, but you are diverting the purest of the Magicite.
I can assure you it reaches Lord
That's
Vane
Judge
most discreetly.
Geese, right?
Yes.
You wear your saddle well.
The goose.
Be that as it may, I have no intention of being bridled, Your Honor.
I have no intention of being
Then
married.
you prefer the whip?
No.
Stubbornness will see not only you broken, Excellency,
When they start
but
getting
Rogerba as well.
put out, she starts screaming, "Look! I'm being forced out of this store because I didn't want this bread!"
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Halim Ondor IV, the Marquis of Bujerba. The Marquis served as
Like,
mediator
that
at the
sounds...
negotiations of Damascus' surrender. It would appear that he is
That sounds like something you would
less neutral
see
now.
in mainstream
He's been
media.
helping the resistance.
They say
Like,
many
really
things.
bad news.
Maybe it is. If we looked up, woman gets forced out of restaurant because she didn't want the free bread. Maybe we'll find it.
Penelo is your...
Maybe.
She's a friend. She was kidnapped and taken here.
Penelo is your... She's a friend.
Oh. So I have a chance.
So I have a chance.
Yeah, look at that devilish smile. It's like,
mm.
I see.
We all know Lamont.
I caught the guy on his way out and told him that the bread was free. He apologized and walked away really quickly.
Doing them all a service.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please forgive us.
Look, he has a sword. He has a sword, see? It's just like he wanted. Sword and shield. He's a thief.
This is what everybody on the team should have.
No.
Here's your sword and shield. You can swing it like the rest of us.
He has a sword and shield. See?
That's 2 out of 4.
And neither of them are knights.
We just got to get the other 2 to have a sword and shield. Poke.
Poke. Poke.
Who's the one with the 2 swords?
2 sword? Redis.
Redis.
Yeah. We don't have Libra.
Ah, the bridge.
This is not the bridge. It is one of the bridges. That bridge is up north, near Bosch's face.
This isn't the skeleton bridge?
No. That's the next bridge we go to.
Oh.
Also, Bosch does not have a lot of strength because he is not a knight. He is a machinist.
Let me see if I can remember some very, very terrible and ridiculous mall stories.
Oh, right, because you had a lot of customer dealings like that.
We had some pretty interesting customers.
I have one at Duncan where it was during salmon season, so you know how bad that is.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, during salmon season, people come from all over the world straight to our the place where I work, or the village where I work.
Yeah. It's a prime fishing spot.
It's a very, very famous fishing spot.
Everyone goes.
Everyone around the world goes there for months at a time. And as such, a lot of people because they're foreigners, they think they own the place, and they treat all the staff and everyone there like...
Legit, wait, they're actually foreigners?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people, foreigners that go there.
Jeez, I thought they were just like...
Oh,
I thought
no.
it was just nationwide.
No, it's all around the world.
Dang.
I literally had Russians come in, I had people from Poland come in, I had Germans come in.
We come to try your fish.
Like, 90% of them are rude. Are just completely rude.
We want your fish.
But anyways, this one guy, he seemed like he was American, but he seemed like he was from like stereotypical Jersey Shore type guy. Like he had the thin beard, the thin mustache, like you could barely visible.
I'm here to take your fish.
And
Give me your fish.
He was wearing a backwards hat inside. He was wearing a tank top muscle shirt.
Where I come from, the fish is all poisonous. You can't eat it. I want this fish.
And this guy just looked like he screamed pretentious. Like he thought he owned the place. But so we're really busy there, right? And I'm the shift manager there. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying we'll get to you as soon as we can, and I'm helping drive through, I'm helping front counter, I'm going all over the place, I'm helping the people in the bake section trying to get all the food orders. So I'm literally going all over the place. and there's 2 people on front counter, 1 person on drive-through, and then there's me going around, 1 person on, like, it's just chaos, right? So this one guy, he's literally been waiting not 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes. Just did the order was taken, and we specifically told him because he was getting dark roast, so it's like, okay, we're brewing a fresh pot for you. It's gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes. And he goes, all right, and this is the skeleton, basically.
Yeah, figure that out.
So all that's going on, and we finally get his coffee. As I said, have you gotten your order yet, sir? And he goes, no, she still hasn't gotten my order, and she's already overwhelmed because there's a line out the door. Oh, there's a thing there. And I'm sitting there going around. I'm like, okay, what was your order? And he goes, the 2 dark roasts. I'm like, okay. So I got them for him. And the guy, I get them for him, and he looks me straight in the eye, slams his hand on the table, and says, "You should fire her." And I'm just like, "I'm sorry, what?" He says, "She sucks at her job. Get her out of here." And then he just walks out. And I was just like, and this is Eric was working there with me too, and he was on drive-thru, and he stopped serving the customer because he was about to go climb over the counter and like go after this guy because he was a complete asshole. And I was just like, "I'm sorry, sir." He's like, "I'm getting out of here. This place sucks." And I'm just like, "All right, have a nice time." And at that point, the cashier, she started crying. So I said, just go back there for a second. Don't worry about it. He's an asshole, you know. But that's just one instance of what happened. I'm like, why? It's coffee. You're getting that worked up. You see it's busy, and you're seriously going to be like, you're the most important person here? Really? Like, I don't understand that. So yeah, that's one thing, and it really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, the place that I worked at, and I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. I worked at one of the, not even one, the largest mall in New York. And I worked at this place, so it's kind of like an escape room place. It's basically an entertainment outlet, you know. And we would get a lot of angry customers because we would try to explain, they didn't know what it was, and we tried to explain it to them as best as we could so that they would understand what it was. And I guess they would never understand or grasp it that they could possibly be put with another group of people so that they could work together.
Right. And
we would get customers that would just be absolutely angry and would refuse to accept anything more than being put with a person that they didn't know. Like, they would just get livid about it. And we couldn't say anything to them because, you know, it's bad customer service.
Right.
But just the lengths that they would go to. They would scream at us, they would scream at the people, they would like bargain with the people, like just to be like, "Hey, can you let us go, and we can, we'll do something for you." Like they would go to these extremes just to not do something fun with someone they didn't know. But one of the things that I remember most of all, it was one of the most obscene customers that we were with. There was this family that it was all adults, and then there was a woman that had a baby in a stroller, and they went into one of the rooms, one of the adventures, and they were already pretty riled up because I think they had just like recently been drinking at a nearby bar. Mm-hmm. So they were all they were all riled up, and they were being pretty annoying, but not to the point where we could have said anything. We just kind of understood that they were having their own way of fun. And then they started to. We had a bunch of merchandise there, and one of the stuff that we had was hats that you could wear. So they put on the hats, and they like grabbed a bunch of like the other items, and they were going to take them into the adventure with them. And we were kind of like, that's when we kind of got a little skeptical. We're like, do we tell them they can't? Do we tell them no?
This is what I came here
So
to see.
we opted to not tell them to. We told them they had to leave the items, but they could take the hats.
Manufactured nethicite.
So they go in. They all have. They're all. Most of them are wearing hats. They go into the adventures. They come out, and none of them are wearing hats.
This is the fruit of
So
research
we
into the
look around the
manufacture of
adventures,
nethicite. All of the
and
hands
we
of the
find
Dracula
that the
laboratory.
hats aren't in the adventures. So we go up to them. We're like, all right. They're like, do you have the
So this
hats?
is
And then
where
they're like,
get
what
your
hats?
magicite.
So we again call them out on it. We know that you took hats in there. Where'd you put the hats? And then they're like, we forgot. We left them we put them in the stroller. So they take the hats out of the stroller and they give them back to us. And then they all leave, and they're still like being kind of. Now they're starting to be a little rude about it.
Tell me, who are you?
So they leave and they go out to these tables that are just outside the room, the store. And I noticed that they, in the bottom of the stroller, they also have like this like coin bank that we were also selling. And so I go up to the person at the register and I'm like, can you check if we sold a coin bank? And we didn't. So I go to my boss. I'm like, listen, I think there's these guys out here that stole something from us.
We're taking her back.
So they go and so my boss goes out, and sure enough, they did steal it. And we found several other items in the bottom of the stroller that we didn't catch. So that was pretty ridiculous that they were trying so hard to steal these little trinkets. It's like, why? It was ridiculous.
Wait up.
We'll not be able to take them all. Fight who we must.
That's what you think, Balthier.
You're gonna kill them all?
Yeah. Watch this.
You didn't even run. You just turn right back. That guy's coming to tackle you.
Here we go.
There's a lot of planning that's going into this, I see.
No, not at all. Everyone's already almost dead.
Yeah, jeez. Who was doing that one damage? It's like I barely even saw anybody damaging that one.
It was all the area of effect. Really? We'll not be able to take them all. Sure we will.
I wasn't able to that first time. Fran's dead.
I know. I just
Balthier's
needed.
almost dead.
I just needed this.
What'd you take?
Don't die, Balthier. What? What happened?
Vaughn took a break.
Vaughn took a break.
If I think hard enough, I bet I can think of a bunch of other ridiculous stories from that place.
Balthier, why?
There was a band that went there, and that I had no idea. I had no idea who I was talking to when they went there. And I treated them like any other customer. And then my boss texted me later that night, and he's like, Shinedown was here? And I'm like, who?
Confound you! I will have my pound of flesh yet, Balthier! All he wanted was a pound of flesh. That's all he wanted.
Why is he so mad at you? Back then, I stole his cutler. his meat cuts.
I stole them. I mean, he is a bounty hunter, so it kind of makes sense.
Bounty hunters that hunt meat?
Is there anything else that we wish to discuss?
I'll think of something. But until then, if chat has anything you would like to discuss, we're all ears. Go back to my topic list. I haven't opened that in a while.
Well, we're about to come up to your favorite part of the game.
Right.
And
I think that should be the end.
Yeah, that'll be our stopping point. And at that point we will we'll do your part so that way you can play it. But that afterwards we'll go through the scenes. And then when we get to the next save crystal, that's where we'll end it. So it's coming up quick.
There's a realistic ATST. What? It's another Star Wars thing. You know those
ATST.
Yeah, those chicken walkers.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Just in real life.
It's freaking Star Wars, man. I never bought potions. That's not good.
What are some of the here's a topic I'll lay out. What are some of the first YouTube videos that you remember watching?
Like probably the Badger song. The Numa Numa guy. Because that's when like YouTube like first came into existence, and that was like one of the most popular viral videos of the time. I didn't really start watching YouTube a lot until middle of high school, I want to say, because I was kind of a boring kid, and then around that time I started watching I don't remember. I think that's when we were watching Ray William Johnson. I think. I could be wrong.
My brother got me into that.
Well, I know that's when I started watching. I believe that's when I started watching, but that's when I started watching more YouTube. And that's when I started subscribing to more people. And it wasn't until like a few years ago that I didn't get into like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Cryotic, all those big tubers until maybe towards the end of my military career. And before then we had Kryken. So there wasn't a whole lot that I really watched aside from those channels. But the first ones I ever remember watching is probably like the Badger song, the Numa Numa guy.
You must take care with such undesirables about.
All those old cat videos, you know, where the whole internet is based off of. Those things. That's what I remember watching first.
I still remember the first YouTube video that I ever watched. Did you ever watch the video of the two kids, the two guys that sang, that like mouthed the I Want It That Way from Backstreet Boys? Do you remember that video?
Of course.
I don't think so.
There's the dude in the back on the computer that has no idea what's going on. He never turns around. He has no idea what his friends are doing. That was the first YouTube video I ever watched. And then the second YouTube video I ever watched was
he will treat you well.
before I knew,
Nobody knows men like Fran does.
like before Smosh was a thing,
Purposes lead the same way.
Anthony and Ian
To
made that
Andor,
Pokemon
we must find
song
means to approach him.
parody
The Marquis
where
has
they
challenged
lip
me
synced
to
They're not
to
in
the
Smosh anymore, you know?
No, I
We'll
know.
start there.
Smosh isn't, like, it's gone. But they lip synced the Pokemon theme song, and they just kind of like acted along with it, and it was a funny video. That was the second video I ever watched.
2 years ago. If news of my survival were to spread,
But even then,
the
like, I
Marquis
didn't
may
have
find
my
his
own
position
YouTube account, so I
compromised.
really didn't go on a
The
computer
men
to
he's been
watch
funding bear little
YouTube
love for the
videos.
Empire. They won't be thrilled to discover that rumors of your
It's
death
almost your
are, in
time,
fact,
dude.
greatly exaggerated.
So excited.
If we were to raise a clamor to that
If
effect,
anybody
we might
remembers or
just
was
get their
around
attention.
watching our Final Fantasy IX stream, you'll know that the section that I absolutely go nuts for is the frog catching. Well, this is my frog catching in 12. Like, for some reason, I just absolutely adore the scene.
Well,
Like, I love
what do
it.
you think?
That certainly qualifies as a clamor. All right, Vaughn, get to it. For the girls' sake, eh? Oh,
For the
and there are
girls'
people
sake,
around to
eh?
witness your little
He's
performance.
so suave.
If we're going to reach the Marquis, it's up to you. We'll be waiting here if you need us.
It is up to you to spread the name of Bosch.
Bosch can't do it. So I'm gonna go back here.
Bosch can't go around saying I'm Bosch, but
gonna-
Vaughn can go around saying
Yeah,
I'm Bosch.
I'm gonna sell my stuff and then it goes to you.
Like, why does Vaughn have to go do it?
I don't know, man. Who?
What?
I got a friend request from someone. I haven't looked at it.
Do you know who Cyprian is?
Cyprian? No, can't say that I do.
What kind of channel are they?
Yeah, what kind of channel is that? All you, dude.
Bosch lives!
He loves this
Start
part.
strong. Yeah, 4.
Don't listen to
Listen to
Andor's
Bosch.
lies.
2. I'm not going to the book, people.
Don't listen
gonna
to
do this.
Andor's lies.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I thought you.
He had me.
Don't listen to Andor's
Just
lies.
comedy videos, says Cat Cat.
I don't know who this is.
I'm Captain
Listen to the
Bosch.
word of Bosch.
He's coming. He's. Are you miscreating out here?
Don't listen to
Would you
Andor's
date Bosch?
lies.
Nope.
Nope.
Denied.
I won't
Bosch
even look at
lives.
you.
I know how to pick him. A good hefty man like you would know about
I'm Captain
Bosch.
Bosch von Rotzenberg of Dalmasca.
I know.
First video I saw was from him. Was from 7 years ago. Just comedy
I'm
videos
Captain
is
Bosch
what
von
Cat Cat
Rotzenberg of
says.
Dalmasca.
7 years ago. That's 2012 or is that
Hey.
2011?
I'm the Bosch von Rotzenberg.
The Bosch is here to speak.
I've never heard.
Don't
of
worry, we'll make it work.
You gotta do to people who
Hey.
are.
Don't listen to
Yeah,
Andor's
people.
lies.
Yeah.
I know how to be Bosch. We're gonna go be Bosch inside this store. Just
Tavern?
Just scream to the. Just scream.
To the heavens.
Scream it to the heavens.
Lives.
I'm making.
Heavens.
I'm making heads turn. Just 3. What?
I'm the Bosch von Rotzenberg.
They don't like you.
Do you know who Bosch is? I'll make you understand.
Do you know our Lord and Savior Bosch?
You a bookkeeper?
Yeah, that's a bookkeeper.
For Bosch.
von Rotzenberg of Dalmasca.
That guy's sitting over there. He's next.
Uh-oh. He heard you.
You know what that means. Testify in court. Yes. This guy's got nothing better to do than believe in Bosch. He's sitting in his sty.
This isn't a dungeon, it's a sty.
I've been waiting to join a new cult.
Why can't Bosch be Bosch?
That's
what I'm saying. Like, why can't Bosch do this?
Because Bosch is supposed to be dead.
So why is Vaughn going around yelling that he's Bosch?
To spread the rumors that he's not.
He's saying, I'm Bosch.
I know. If Bosch goes around doing it, they'll immediately catch on and probably put him to the death. If they do it to him, he's the guinea pig, and they take him in, and then they find out where the secret resistance is.
It's like, all right, we get it. It's like, all right, we've got it. Yelling out that Bosch is real will get us killed. Let's not do that. Thank you, Vaughn, for being our guinea pig. People in here will know about Bosch. Hey! I'm Bosch!
Guy!
I'm Bash.
Bosch lives.
2.
Bosch! Bosch!
Oh, the pigs love learning about Bosch. It's like every time I talk to a pig, they're ready to agree with me.
I've been waiting to join a cult. I've been waiting for that specific moment.
The last cult was getting boring.
How about you, lizard man?
As he's like walking away.
It's intriguing.
I'm Captain Bosch.
Darn.
They're not Bujerbans.
But they are. Everybody here is a Bujerban.
Nah.
Don't listen to all
Dude.
those lies.
I will testify in court that I am you.
I'm
Oh
the
no.
Bosch von
The first pig
Rotzenberg.
that disregarded me.
So what happens if they do try to kill Bosch? Story happens. This is a story point driven game. Like we're just in the section.
My lady.
Listen to Andor's lies.
I'm Bosch.
He
Andor's
lying.
lying.
He didn't say that he's about. You already got
Bosch
him.
lives.
I'll say it again. I'll scream it so that they remember. They're forgetting. Can you see? They're forgetting me. I need to go in another shop. Ah, creatures of the night.
They don't.
Captain Bosch von Rotzenberg of Dalmasca.
Hey, we're finishing strong. We're finishing on a good note.
Your notoriety is going way down, dude.
We're finishing on a good note.
Like,
All right, if there's a dude with a book in here, I will talk to. Oh my goodness, so much Bosch. Yes.
4 heard you.
4 Bujerbans. Bosch?
Bosch? Bosch? Psst.
Bosch.
Psst. Bosch lives.
All right, we'll wait.
Do it.
No, we gotta wait. He's almost here. He's not almost here. Where is? I can't see.
Bosch
Yes.
lives.
Wonderful. Stop. Bosch? Aha! A connoisseur.
Don't listen to Andor's lies.
Yes. Bosch.
Ka?
is ready.
Ka!
All right, you look like a handsome mate. I'll tell you about Bosch. Join our cult. The cult of Bosch.
Join the cult of Bosch. One of the reasons why you want to cosplay Vaughn is specifically
Just to do that. Just to
that.
run around crowds and yell that I'm Bosch.
I'm also so glad they included that phrase in the new Dissidia.
So you can just spam it like
I'm Bosch. I'm Captain Bosch.
This is the one.
I am Captain
Says he's Captain Bosch.
of Harrow.
You would sooner pass for the king.
Like, this guy is such a stud.
I knew he weren't no captain. That was
He's such a
mean
womaner.
trick to be playing.
Womanizer.
If a trickery
Look at that.
ended, it
Just
would end
leaning
well
on him.
enough.
She's
But
like,
why
yeah,
this
he
boy?
owns me.
And why Captain Ronsenberg? An explanation is due.
I mean, if you wore a half-cut shirt like that, I'm sure you'd also be getting all the girls. But if you do that, man, you get half naked girls.
I was gonna say you don't get girls, you get women, but yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
that's
whatever.
If you dress like that guy,
You get
you get nobody.
You get arrested.
You get arrested. And then
you
thrown
get,
in.
You get sentenced to death.
You get
for betrayal of your kingdom.
So Vaughn really is all right.
Now,
I didn't think I'd ever get to see him again.
if you dress like
You
that
will
guy,
join him soon. And until then,
You
I shall
become
see that you are
royalty.
kept from harm.
Thank you.
Oh my god, my roommate bought chocolate croissants.
I am troubled.
chocolate croissants.
That sounds a little too good to be true.
Are they like chocolate filled? Are they made of chocolate?
What?
Like, how do you put chocolate in bread when bread being croissant? I don't understand that.
The first duty of the consul is to maintain order in
Because
Damascus.
croissants are literally just flaky bread
My brother is not one given to
in
failure.
a crescent shape.
Perhaps things aren't going as well as they might be, but give him a little time and he will put things to rights. Be not
I
troubled.
think I'm gonna bet
My
it's
brother is a
chocolate
remarkable
in the
man.
croissant.
Invalid
He
perimeters.
frightens me.
Perimeters.
It just didn't pop up. It's fine.
I'm
We
sorry.
got everything.
He
We got
is
everything
your
we could ever
brother.
want right
It's
here.
just, you don't understand how much we lost to the war. My friends, my parents.
So you fear the Empire? Listen to me.
No.
The men of my family.
Don't
we are
listen to
taught
me.
to
Don't
place
speak
the
to me.
needs of others before those of our
I
own.
just
Did you
met
not
you.
just
I
hear
will
me?
see
I'm
that you are
afraid
kept
of
from
you.
harm. It is my duty to House Solidor.
You roll, spread it on the
How can I
dough,
trust
then
you?
roll it like you're.
Because I give
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
My
That
brother
makes
would do
sense.
no
So
wrong.
it really does. So it has chocolate spread in it, and it's baked with the chocolate in it. Yes, I'm assuming. After it's rolled, so then the chocolate kind of comes out the sides, but also inside it. Is that how it is? Because that's how I see it.
The Marquis's face when he learns of it.
If I'm wrong, please tell me because
I would meet him
don't know.
and see for myself.
Hey, anything chocolate is fine. by
Yes,
me.
I was right. Ah.
There is little to be said.
What?
I shall arrange a meeting with the Marquis. We shall expect you at the estate.
What is that accent?
I can't handle. Is it a lion? Is it a furry goat? Is it what is it? So we calling it there?
We are going to go first. I will do this one last thing, and then we will proceed to the story to the Leviathan and save it there. Yes. Because this is really the final time we can do this.
Gab says this bar looks cozy.
This is a bar? Oh, the bar that we were just in, right?
There's a very homey look to it. Welcome, Gab. Unfortunately, we'll be ending soon, but we appreciate you.
Well, I'm doing
appreciate
two
you
final hunts.
coming nonetheless.
Yeah. We are doing 2 final hunts because this will be the last time we can do it for quite a while.
Gab's a newcomer, I think.
As you can see, that's where we go to proceed the story. However, we are going back into the mines for 2 final hunts.
Is that your game room you're in? Practically, yeah.
I
mean,
guess so. It's our living room.
Yeah, it's a living room that we decorated nice to give a nice backdrop.
Yeah.
I wish we had a game room that was dedicated to just the games. If I did have one, I would also rearrange it so that it would be it would be good and meant for VR too.
Yeah.
Because that's what's keeping me away from VR. I don't have space to do it properly.
I think VR would be fun, but we really need more space for that, and we don't have the space for it. We have too many expensive items.
I heard that they're coming out with a FNAF VR game, and it actually looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard it's
it looks legitimately scary.
They're also coming out with apparently FNAF 7.
That's the VR game.
No, they're coming out with.
He also bought Galettes, I think. Gillettes.
Gillettes.
This man is a saint.
Who is this man?
Bringing all the desserts. No, I don't want dessert.
I want to eat.
We're not gonna go on a cake run though. Not this time.
Not this time. I did buy the essentials though.
I saw. Thank you.
Grind, grind, grind on that grindstone.
You remember what that's from?
Isn't that a Yahtzee thing? Is it from a movie?
Yes. Love this game's color palette and environments, says Gab.
Yes, it's I enjoy it. I like the style of this world and setting, the world of Ivalice. It is very different from the other Final Fantasies. And I generally like this art style a lot. It's a lot more realistic.
Excuse me.
For a Final Fantasy, this is probably the most realistic one.
15.
15's the more modern one, but I guess 15 is one of the more realistic ones aside from all the magic and stuff. This one is probably the most realistic. People actually fighting, hitting things with sticks and swords. And bows and arrows, guns. It's about as simple and... Did I get it? I didn't talk to him! Damn it! That's not good.
It's very Ivalice. This game takes place in the same world as Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes, it does.
Vagrant
Vagrant Story. Which...
You think alike.
Yes, it is. In fact, Tactics and Vagrant Story are actually sequels to this game, technically.
If you have to backtrack all the way, I think we'll cut it before we reach the Leviathan.
It's literally like right after though, because I'm not gonna sit there and fight everything. I'm gonna flee to where I have to go. The hunt will not come out unless you meet requirements, and for this one, you literally have to talk to the petitioner. You can't just accept the hunt and go kill it. You have to talk to the people that do it, and then it spawns. But each it's a good thing I know where I'm going. Stop it! I don't want to be hit. But yes, it does take place in same world. Ivalice is the same world. Tactics and Tactics Advanced are all sequels of Final Fantasy XII.
Did you guys like Final Fantasy XV?
I did, yes. And I'm pretty sure Marshall did too.
Yeah.
It's a very good game, very fun game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely a game that when I think back to it as a whole, I enjoyed the gameplay so much that it kept me from actually playing the game. Like, progressing in the story took second place to where I was just doing as many hunts as I could just to give me excuse to keep fighting because I loved it so much. Like, to the point where you got mad at me because I wouldn't progress in the story.
But yes,
same here. I thought it was a return to form for the series after 13.
Yeah, 13 was kind of a big risk that Square Enix took, but it became... The reason it's so relevant is because it's popular in Japan. Japan really like romanticized it. Holy crap.
What, 13?
Yeah. 13 is hugely popular. Like this is bad.
Oh, nail to the gut.
This is really bad. I can't. It does too much damage to me. Yeah, he's doing too much damage. I don't think I don't even know if I can. What are you doing, Vaughn? I don't have a white mage. That's what's killing it. I don't have someone who can defend themselves. I don't have buffs. I don't have any of that stuff. Let's put yours as eye potion. See where that will go.
Gab says the controls were really smooth. I loved that car trip with the bros feel it had. Haven't seen that in a game before.
Yeah, it's a very relaxing type game, I feel, and it's one of my favorite games for sure.
It put a lot of elements in the game that just made you as the player feel laid back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a laid back game. Like one of the pluses about that game for me was ending the day and running to a campsite.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sun sets and you're booking it back to the campsite and you're just like, oh, we're almost there, and then when you finally get there, like the feeling that I got was that feeling where you finally get home and you get to relax and you're just like, oh, like just sitting in my chair playing a game. Like I got that feeling. It was like immersive. It was really cool.
We're actually going to be streaming that, a full playthrough of Final Fantasy XV. Not next month, but the month after. Or that's the plan.
The month of May is our plan to do a full stream of 15.
I'm gonna wait for his buffs to go down. La-di-da, because that protect and bravery that he has is killer. So just wait a few seconds. He'll be out. But yeah, we will be doing a full 15 playthrough, including the episodes DLC. Probably won't do Comrades because that's online multiplayer. It doesn't have too much relevance in the story, but it does have some neat stuff. Come on, go away. And then I'll send my fighters. Come on. I don't like your saber.
Which boss fight did you like more, Sephiroth or Liquid Snake?
Oh, I liked the Liquid Snake boss fight.
Is this someone?
That's a Metal Gear.
Is this someone who's like? Are they like attached to you or something?
Do I know you?
They seem to know everything.
Like I don't know. Like, do we know you?
Hey. Unfortunately, I did not get an alert on stream. Unfortunately, so I don't know if that's a problem. But Gab just subscribed.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Gab.
Whoa.
There was supposed to be an alert that popped up on stream, but it didn't happen. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Thank you.
Oh, stop. Oh no, why did you leave? You freak.
They both fought with their shirts off. They both are obsessed with their parents. And they both took 4 tries to kill.
You're not wrong.
Cat says, am I the only one who's just here for Marshall and Cameron? No clue about Final Fantasy.
Aw. We're loved.
It's kind of just something in the background.
Yeah, this is kind of just something in the background. We appreciate that,
Yeah,
Cat.
really, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Like we never. We love that. Thanks. Probably obsessed with his mommy, you know, Liquid Snake is obsessed with his daddy, Big Boss. Eventually, Marshall will play Metal Gear Solid 5. He attempted Metal Gear Solid 1, but
Okay, Cat, you'll learn about FF here.
yeah, you'll definitely learn about it here. Yeah, seriously, do we know you, Gab? Like, it's like you know us. It's like you know I'm a walking Final Fantasy dictionary here.
There's gotta be something we're missing. I feel.
Like I feel like.
The secret will be revealed.
It's like, do we know you, Gab?
You seem to know us.
That's what it seems like.
I've seen movies where there's a character where he comes in, he seems to know everything about a set of characters.
Oh,
but the characters
you're
have no
asking the right questions.
But the characters have no idea who he is.
He's like, I don't know. I don't know. You just randomly was like, yeah.
So
you're asking the right question.
Throughout the entire movie, they're just like, what is that?
Just spam those high potions, dude. There you go. I've got the right gambit. I think I've got enough high potions too. I got 12 left, so we'll kill him. Good. Yes. There's one down. One more to go. We chose some difficult classes to start out with.
Some of them we didn't choose. Some of them
Now
were
their
chosen.
levels are all off.
It's okay.
It's
Can
okay.
all be redirected and rebalanced in the end.
It's kind of a lot of difficulty to do.
Just gonna have to send one in at a time, or a couple levels off. I'm sure isn't the end of the world. Gab says, a lot of us Caucasian North American males who love Final Fantasy also tend to love Metal Gear Solid as well for some reason. Is that true?
I feel like it is because they're both heavily Japan inspired. And they just focus. They focus on a lot of demographic groups, I would say. Like, they appeal to a lot of people.
I'm willing to say that you would. I would want to. I'm gonna take a gamble and say that you gain the love from Metal Gear Solid first.
Yes.
Then that will result in your love for Final Fantasy.
Maybe. Yeah, I would probably say that. Did Juan just level up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. But yeah, I would probably say that's right because that's definitely how it was for me. I got Metal Gear first because my dad played it when I was a kid, and then I played it. He also, and then Final Fantasy X was my first Final Fantasy, so that was way down the line. And then I started playing more of them. But let's see, this is where it's going to get a little difficult. Now we're gonna go fight the giant turtle. But we gotta kill all the skillies because they just love to spawn where they're not needed. But yeah, I feel like Gab's statement has some merit to it.
I can't remember exactly, but I think I got FF7 before Metal Gear, but it's hard to remember.
Metal Gear came out 98 or 99, and 7 came out 97. But okay, you need an ether. Alright, that's spicy skeletons. There you go.
This dungeon is huge, this gap.
Oh yeah, the Lusu mines, especially towards the end of the game, later in the game.
Like there's
where it
more
gets-
to this?
Oh yeah. There's a ton.
Balthier
Oh,
has
Balthier
fallen.
has dit. What is happening?
This is a strong turtle.
You mean
This is a strong
this is a
turtle.
Very strong turtle.
Have you guys played a game from the PS3 called White Knight Chronicles? It's a lot like this game.
No.
I haven't played it before. I unfortunately haven't heard of it before. White
either.
Knight Chronicles.
Holy crap! Why? How are you so tough? I've never had this trouble before. I know I say that a lot, but I'm serious. I don't think we can beat this guy yet. We're even over leveled. Like, what the heck?
Get Bash in here.
Bash won't do it.
Why not? You doubting him?
Bash
You're
doesn't
doubting
have-
me, Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca? Don't listen to Honor's Lies?
Feels so uncultured. Hey, we feel uncultured to your culture. Like, we're gonna have to leave. All right, we're just gonna. Come on, Balthier. Let's run.
We can all feel out of our element together, but the fact that we are out of our element is the thing that we have in common.
Yeah.
Damn, this guy is impenetrable.
Well, I've never had an issue fighting that mark before.
You've never been these classes fighting that mark before.
Yeah, that is true. These are heavily physical based classes, and the time battle mage even is quite physical based. They wear heavy armor, and they fight with crossbows and time magic.
Time
We
Double
also
XL.
don't we don't have any white magic, or even better, black magic. Black mages in this game, they beefed them up
Fran
so
knew some
much.
black magic.
She knows some, but she's...
Wouldn't that help? Even a little? I'm assuming that thing is very... It isn't very magic resistant, right?
No, it doesn't. But I also don't have a lot of arrow motes, and that thing is weak against arrow.
Gotcha.
The wind element.
Gotcha.
I think I have like one arrow mote, and I need a bunch. But that's okay, we can always come back to him. Let's get this. Boom. Balaclava. Thanks.
Have you ever eaten baklava wearing a balaclava?
Yes.
You're lying.
Yeah, I'm lying. I have no idea what that is.
I think it's like a dough.
A dough?
Like a dough thing. Baklava. I think.
A dough?
I think.
Oh no, I've had baklava. I was just... God. I'm at a loss for words right now.
I only said it because I saw balaclava and it's something that Michael Cera said in the behind the scenes of Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, they were doing the commentary, and that was just one of the comments he said.
Oh.
They were all talking about a part in the movie, and then I think what's his name? Brandon Ruth. Whoever plays Todd, he comes in out of nowhere with food, and so he starts handing food to everybody. And then he joins the commentary, and then one of the foods that he has is baklava, and then Jason Schwartzman starts like he starts like going nuts about it, and then Michael Cera he makes that comment.
An FF10 15 poster above the player's head. This one? Yes.
A woman by the name
this
of
one is.
Amalia.
This is the Final Fantasy IX.
I would rescue her, but I need your help.
I also have the Final Fantasy 15 map, world map, over to my right on the wall.
You understand I've my position to consider.
Would you let us see Larsa?
I think that's the only
with them.
15 stuff we have.
I'm
And then
afraid you're
there's
too late.
Noctis right there.
Lord Lassus cortege
Ignis
has
is
already
right here.
rejoined the Imperial detachment.
Prompto's over there.
I am told they will
We don't
depart
have
for
Gladio.
Ravennaster upon the arrival of the fleet this eventide.
I'd like to get that poster 24 by 36 and put it in a frame and put it up in my future gamer basement I'm saving up for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got this. Because I ordered the, when 15 was coming out, I ordered the deluxe edition. So I got this with it. I got a bunch of postcards that came with it. I got a thank you from the creators and developers. It was some good stuff, and a steel bookcase for it. And I also have the 15 official strategy guide,
Captain Ronson,
which I got more as a
surely
yay, I have it,
agency's officer
rather than
position
I'm gonna
will
use
cost
this
you.
sort of thing. It was just
story-
I liked it because it had art stuff in it and everything.
The story to this game is so good and so detailed, it's hard to follow.
Yeah, for 12, it's
I
very
definitely-
Star Wars based.
I definitely lost track while trying to follow the story.
Summon the god.
Summon the god.
Oh dear, he has a sword.
Yeah, we're
They have
nerds.
to be taken to Judge Geese.
Cat. Don't do that.
What?
It's okay. You love us. We're nerds.
You embrace it.
I do embrace it. Anytime someone calls me a nerd, I'm like, hell yeah. What are you gonna do about it? I'm probably smarter than you.
Obstinacy knows no bounds.
The insurgents in Ravennaster
I can't breathe. Help. What if he just like passed out? I can't.
Adopted hatred. I was born in it.
Molded by it.
When I was young, I hated my pet cat.
Proud nerds, probably. What do you mean, probably? What is that?
We're just having a bit of fun. We're just having a little laugh.
Just having a little laugh. Big old gaff.
You will die by my hand.
Did I ever tell you that boss was my brother?
Your fraternity is moving.
I am your brother.
Bosch and I are related.
Geese returns with
By
Larsa.
blood, in fact.
Have I told you that Bosch is my brother? Oh yeah, he knows.
Would you believe me if I told you that?
Like, look at the
Bosch is my
scales
brother?
on his vest.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You may leave.
In the original, that was not at all
Noticeable?
like modeled or noticeable. Like it was there, but it looked like it was just pattern. Like there are actual scales in this. And he's one of my favorite villains.
Trying to
of all
follow the
time.
story, you're like, who's this guy?
Like he's one of my favorite villains. For his last act only. The last time you fight him, it's gives you the goosebumps. Gives me the goosebumps because of the words he says, the speech he has.
Trying to find a dagger for your back.
They are welcome to try.
Get it?
Because he's supposed to be sort of like Julius Caesar, except not. He's Julius Caesar if Julius Caesar was successful and didn't get assassinated.
Sure.
That's basically Vayne. Vayne is Julius Caesar if Julius Caesar succeeded in everything he did and didn't die. Look at this. Look at this. CG rendered brilliance.
What? Look at those gorgeous 2006 visuals.
I know, this game is 2006.
Yeah, this is without the HD remaster. And it still looks great.
The prisoners, my lord.
He's supposed to be dead.
Yes.
Majesty.
After what you've done, how dare you? You're supposed to be dead.
Look at that mustache.
Come now, come
Oh
now.
my goodness. Skyrim or Oblivion, says Cat Cat.
I have
The late Princess
I have
Ashalia
not
the
played either.
Nargindal massacre.
I tried, but I
I've only played
I
Skyrim.
do it.
My friends have played Oblivion. I've watched my friends play Oblivion. Skyrim, I kind of still haven't beat. But I've watched my friends play Oblivion, and Oblivion seems better to me, despite Skyrim being much more beautiful.
Those who foster instability and unrest.
I get a lot of hate for saying that from a bunch of people because they're like, Skyrim is so great, why don't you play it? I'm like,
I will not play puppet to Vayne.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I didn't like the leveling system in Skyrim. I didn't like it. I preferred it in Oblivion. I like leveling in the sense of visual EXP, like numbers. I like numbers, I guess. Skyrim doesn't give you numbers. Skyrim's like, here's a progress bar.
If that is your duty, yes.
Cat shocked by something.
Yeah, probably from
your comment.
What I'm saying, because look, I appreciate it, I acknowledge it, but
It was in the palace treasure.
he did another one of those.
Vocal trills.
Splendid. You brought the stone with you. This spares us
It's like his throat is opening. I like the environments in Oblivion more. Skyrim is really gray and white, and dead plant life near white. Yeah, it's kind of desolate unless you mod it, which
take them away.
I feel like Skyrim is meant to be modded.
You have to promise no executions. A judge must live by the law. Prepare them for execution, you traitor.
See, Vaughn thinking he has the diplomacy here is like, you have to promise no executions. Shut up, boy. You're 17 and going to dang.
You're going to swing.
Oblivion is greater in lesser forest.
No sacrifices.
I also like medieval.
So you were carrying it all along. The fate's jest.
It's like choosing between
Tell these fates of yours to leave me out.
Keep quiet.
I choose.
There was nothing else that I could do.
I eat
You
the
know
whole
that.
candy bar.
Oh, I understand.
I'm that guy
Honor,
who bites
duty,
into
and
a
all
Kit
that.
Kat.
Still can't believe that was a coincidence.
Like how?
Vaughn's about to be executed. No, he's not. I'm not gonna mic off. I did knock my mic off.
Thanks for the heads up, Cat.
Thanks. But at least you heard me.
Not
Vaughn
likely
is
to
about
delay
to
his
be.
aid. Listen,
Thank you for that.
it's
My
been a
mic
full
is
2
now
years.
good.
I alone have kept Her Majesty safe
Yeah,
here.
I have to
alike.
opt out of
I could trust nobody.
the Elder
You did your
Scrolls
duty,
conversation.
and mine
I
for me.
played 30 minutes
I'm
of
getting her
Skyrim
out.
and
I need
I
your help.
stopped.
Of course.
Vossler joins the party
Yeah.
as a guest. B.
And the map of the Leviathan.
Ow.
We're on the Leviathan. Don't. Alright. This will unfortunately have to conclude
Guest.
our. This will have to conclude our playthrough of Final Fantasy XII.
Right.
This was mostly to, again, continue it, but also talk about past things that just happened for the convention. Get a discussion going with our group. We thank everybody for coming and joining us. Yeah, there's trial mode in this in the Zodiac Age version. But as such, we are going to be heading off. And
did you mention that it's gonna be a while before we pick up 12 again?
Yes, it will be quite a while before we pick up 12 again, actually, because what we have planned for next month, starting what day?
April.
Are we gonna try for Monday?
Wait. I'm gonna put something up on the screen that I made last minute.
Oh.
To give you guys a visual. Hopefully our mics are still active.
Okay.
Are our mics still active? I hope so. So as you can see by the diagram here, April 3rd, is going to be the start of our zombie month. So we're gonna start with Left 4 Dead 2, and we're gonna hopefully have 2 other of our good friends playing with us, so we can have a full party. If not, it'll just be another one of our buddies with us.
Yep.
And then next Wednesday, we're gonna keep to the Wednesday schedule, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
The Wednesday after that, April 10th, is going to be Undead Nightmares, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmares DLC. The next Wednesday, we're going to play several rounds of Call of Duty Zombies. That'll be Cameron's first
playing,
exposure to Nazi zombies.
Mm-hmm.
The 24th is going to be Resident Evil 5.
Cat is excited.
I'm glad people are excited for. Again, Cameron's first exposure to playing Resident Evil 5.
It's not really my first exposure. My first time playing.
Okay, first time
I've been
playing.
exposed
You've
to
been
Resident Evil 5
via memes.
No, I've
Yes.
seen playthroughs of it. I've watched my dad play it. I've watched Mike play it. I think it was Mike, and I've seen you play it. I think once.
And then we are going
just
to
haven't played it
finish
myself.
strong. Instead of Wednesday, on Monday, the last Monday of April, we're going to finish strong with the new upcoming zombie game, Days Gone.
It'll be us playing.
That
it
will be
completely blind.
It'll be our completely blind. It'll be our first mainstream game that we've played. A lot of this has been nostalgia or past due games. This will be our first mainstream game that we play. So we will see. How
It'll be a
goes.
brand new game too. So that will really.
Yeah, we'll see how that
things.
goes. All right, I'm gonna,
we'll see how that goes.
I'm gonna put our faces.
Here's our faces again. Our beautiful.
So yeah, I hope that was 4 and 7 are better, but 4 and 7 are 1,000 times better. But
the reason he chose not 4 is because recently Marshall had already completed Resident Evil 4.
Would I play it again on stream? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. But Resident Evil 5 is co-op.
Is co-op.
So that is why we are playing 5. That's okay. I will wait for getting over it sooner or later.
Or at least Pogo Struck.
I think sooner or later we will play Getting Over It.
I guess
We'll
a few people have actually wanted to see us play it.
So
they want to see Rage.
Got to give the fans what they want. But eventually we will give the fans what they want.
That is our schedule
that's
for
our plan for May.
For next month. And we will let you guys know if we plan to do Mondays as well. We will let you know the day that we actually stream.
Yeah.
Which as of right now probably not, but that could change. It all depends on how we're feeling.
Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, there might be some solo streams where it's just me playing some games next month. I'll probably tackle Ethan Must Die again next month.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Getting Over It. We need that.
They're excited for Getting Over It. We might have to squeeze that in somewhere.
We might have to, I guess. I don't want to, but that's what people want.
So after April, the plan is for May to be our start of Final Fantasy XV full playthrough. So that's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So that's why we won't get back to Final Fantasy XII for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you have enjoyed our playthrough of it so far. It sounds like you guys have.
Yeah. Again, we are the Martial Artists. We thank you for watching us and chatting with us. And we hope to see you continuing. Keep on with your audience. Good luck on your finals next month, Cat. And we just hope to see you guys more and more, and we thank you guys over at Twitch for watching. For those of you who did, everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Gab, for the subscription, by the way.
Yes, thank you for the subscription. Really, really cool of you. We love you guys, despite what you guys might think. We really do. Thank you for the compliment, Cat, for watching us, not for our content or for the game we're playing.
All right, they're saying bye.
Okay, bye, guys.
Goodbye.
We'll see ya.